Welcome back to episode 4 of They Called Us Madmen. He's Banks, I'm Davis, and we got a fun show lined up. I saw Tenet last night, so I'll try to do a spoiler-free review of that and what it's like to see a movie with COVID going on. We're going to be talking about Robert Pattinson's Batman and all the drama surrounding that. Talk about AEW, Banks' favorite organization in wrestling.
Fuck AEW.
After it celebrated its 1 year anniversary this past week. And then I think we're gonna try to make this a segment, the Showdown, where Banks and I come at it. We discuss a topic and from different sides. And the topic this week is California Love, aka the West Coast anthem, which Banks apparently hates. I don't know how.
24 years of hate, I'm telling you. Even as a kid, I didn't like that song.
We'll save that towards the end. And we'll talk about some random stuff. For some reason, I've been wanting to talk about Dragon Ball Z for a while. We'll kind of touch on G1 and some other wrestling stuff. But first, we'll get into Tenet. Again, I won't spoil it, really, because Banks hasn't seen it.
I saw a little bit of it. It just didn't look right.
And I would say, yeah, so the theater I had that I went to see it with, very, like no one was really there. And again, it was like certain seats are like X'd out, so you're only sitting in the assigned seats. And yeah, it was just kind of a weird process. Like you couldn't pick the snacks yourself; they picked them for you and handed it to you. So it was just a weird thing. Where like, and again, like there were so many masks in the movie, gas masks, oxygen masks, and like it just felt so surreal. Of like in this time where like we can't go anywhere without wearing a mask. At this movie, people are wearing masks, like 50% of it. So the whole time I'm watching this, I'm like, I don't know if Christopher Nolan was like, again, if he was being a madman and prophesizing stuff before it happened, of like, the only way we'll be able to travel in the world is by wearing masks because we won't be able to breathe or whatever. But
hey, I told you he makes those like white woke movies. Probably so. He probably was like, he prophesized this. Or he probably Illuminati or something, I don't know.
I think it's what that's sorry. So I wanted to give a quick because so Tenet, it's totally a Christopher Nolan movie. It's amazing but irritating because it's like Interstellar. Interstellar is amazing to look at. It's so well made, but it's like what's going on? It's like it's trying to. So with his movies, I'd say like you're not supposed to figure it out because he doesn't want you to figure out. He wants to tell it to you from the start. Like, don't like I thought there was going to be a twist coming up, and I like the girl I was with, I like talking, I'm like, I think this is like going to be the big twist in the movie. It didn't happen. That's because I'm like, oh, I'm trying to figure this movie out as I'm watching it. But then Christopher Nolan's like, nope, you can't do that with my movies. Like Inception, obviously, it's like, is it a dream? Has it been a dream the whole time? Or did what we just see actually happen? Like his movies are frustrating in that way. But again, they're so well made. You go along with it. I don't know how you feel about him. He's one of my favorite filmmakers, though. What are your thoughts on Nolan as a whole?
I like him. He's probably one of my favorite directors. I haven't seen Dunkirk yet.
Okay.
I've been meaning to watch it, but that goes along with everything I say about. Yeah, I've been meaning to watch it. Like I swear, unless it's sports, I've been meaning to watch it as my go-to phrase. But I might watch it tonight. I don't know.
You know what I'd say?
I like him though. I just think too much at times, and I need to see what. Because like I said, I watched Tenet, a little bit of it on camera, but I was like, all right, bro, I gotta wait until I can watch it in a better form. Yeah. I feel like, man, at times he put too much dip on the chip when it comes to certain movies. Like Interstellar, okay, you can make that concept work because space and all that, you get scientific. Okay, that's fire. And the space-time continuum, fire. I like that. I like that movie. But then it's certain movies, it's like, all right, let's go by the Dark Knight series. So the Dark Knight Rises is like
trying to do yeah. No, that's what I mean. And all right, so real quick with Dunkirk, I think Dunkirk's in his top tier. I think it's a perfectly made movie. So like in his top tier movies, I'd probably have Dunkirk, The Prestige, and The Dark Knight. Of like that's probably his best work.
I still got to see The Prestige as well.
Oh, it's super prestigious. Yeah, you got to watch both of those soon, I'd say. But Dunkirk, it's a movie. Again, it's a war movie, but it's a short war movie, and that's why it makes it work so well because he just focuses on this certain part of the war, whereas most times they cover like the whole aspect from like either start to finish, etc., and all of that. But I mean, he's an amazing technical filmmaker. A lot of his sequences aren't as much of the action; it's as much as like what he's doing with these objects. And you can tell in Tenet, there's some decent fight scenes, but it's what he's doing with these car chases, these elaborate stunts like crashing the plane, as you can see in the trailer, the plane through the building, and Robert Pattinson and John David Washington bungee jumping up to a building. It's that's what I mean. Like he can't make. Well, it's not that he can't. He won't make a James Bond or a Mission Impossible movie. But movies like this and Inception are like his versions of that, of spy espionage. But he wants it to be too high concept. He doesn't want to make a simple plot action thriller. He wants it to be about something and so complicated because that's just how his brain works. I think at the end of the day, is like
Right.
there's so much he wants to say, and he either wants to say little about it or not want to say anything about it. And that's what I mean. It's so John David Washington is really good in this movie. I'll say that he's a really good leading man. There are times where I'm like, I could see why he chose him because the character at times is kind of supposed to be out of his depth. And like John David Washington's like this is one of his, I think, second, third leading role in a major picture. I mean, but he's again on the rise for that. I mean, Black Klansman was his first big one. He's been leading in an indie, I think, and he's got this movie coming up with Zendaya. But
And then the movie with David Fincher as well.
I thought it was David O. Russell that he wrote.
Yeah, there we go. My fault. One of the Davids. One of the or Davids, but yeah.
Has a movie coming out, but yeah. And that's the thing, like, yeah, it's and Robert Pattinson, who we'll get to later, is okay in this movie as a Christopher Nolan proxy. Like, this is a thing in Christopher Nolan movies where he has people play guys that either look exactly like him or has his mindset. Like Leonardo DiCaprio in Inception looks exactly like Christopher Nolan almost, and
All the way to the down to the fucking trench coat.
that's what I mean. And Robert Pattinson in this movie is wearing a scarf. He has the same color hair. It's just like he puts his stand in as this either central figure or a figure around the central character. But yeah, I'd say you can't see this movie on a cam footage because the background sound was so loud you can barely hear what they're saying, and they're wearing masks the whole time. So it's like
exactly. That's what happened to me. I was like, all right, man.
That's why I also thought it was an irritating. Again, I thought like it's amazing but irritating because he's again doing the stuff to. You're only supposed to see what you're supposed to see and hear what you're supposed to hear, and I figure that's what in this case it's just like frustrating because it's like you're trying to figure out how stuff is inverted, what the inversion does, and it happened. It's just like it's another movie that after a while like you just have to just watch it unfold, and then as soon as you go home look it up right after to be like what the hell happened. And the girl I saw with sent me something like because she couldn't figure it out as well, and I'm like I thought I figured it out for a while, but then I was just like nope, I can't get it at all. Like only Christopher Nolan knew everything that happened from start to finish.
Yeah, because most of the staff said as well they didn't know what the movie was about. I'm like, all right, see,
I mean,
that's too much.
What's like his grand design, I think, is like if you could stop something before it happened, would you still try to stop it? Maybe like that type of, I think is what he's saying, like how Inception would be. I forget what the line that Leonardo DiCaprio says about the dream. Like, if it felt real, does that mean it was real or something like that? And I think that's what he's trying to say with dreaming is that sometimes we dream so real, but when we wake up, we're disappointed that it wasn't. And with this, it's exactly like if you could stop something without knowing it was going to happen and the consequences, would you still try to do that? I'm like,
oh, absolutely. I'll second guess ever taking a flight fucking out here.
no,
I'll stop every time.
Stuff like that. It gets into like, again, on Turn of Sport, but it talks about like how, with everything with time travel, and that was the whole big thing with Endgame. Like, all right, if we went back and killed baby Thanos when they had that scene where Don Cheadle's like, and it's like, would that have stopped everything? It's like, no, because the events would have happened because that was a past version, and this kind of
But it
happened.
was bullshit. A lot of that was bullshit too, though, because if they said it and they try to establish that, like, if you do this, then it fucks up a time period.
Yeah.
But yet, it's still everything kind of went bad, so to speak, or everything just didn't work. It seems like everything stayed the same. But then Doctor Strange was like, oh, he basically tells Tony this is the only way. Or when
Yeah.
Tony asked him, this is the only way. So it's like, bruh, y'all had so many other options you could have did.
Well, that's what's frustrating about time travel in general. I mean, I don't know what you like, how you feel about time travel in movies and TV, if you're a fan of it, or if it's whenever something's involved, or you're always like, because with me, sometimes I'm a little bit like that, where I'm like, I want to see how you're going to explain it, but also it's like, seriously, like that doesn't make sense. Or
Because time doesn't make sense, Davis.
yeah, it's a flat
Time,
circle.
time is just a concept. The third eye is open. I don't have a problem with it. I just they try to be like, oh, like Back to the Future. No, I forgot the brothers. I forgot the name. The directors. They basically said, oh well, we just want, or I think they did say it. They was like, we wanted to get away from that whole concept of Back to the Future, where if something happens,
Yeah.
then it affects everything. I'm like, I actually like that. That's why Back to the Future 2 was fire.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that's what I think they were trying to, and I think Endgame does that pretty well in terms of like the consequences that happen are are still in effect going forward. Obviously, there's a sacrifice. Black Widow gets sacrificed. Yet she has her own solo movie coming out.
And then they explain that takes place between Age of Ultron and Infinity War, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was Civil War and Infinity War.
There you go.
Because
but how do we know they're not bullshitting?
Exactly. It got postponed until next year. Just like Dune. Real quick, they showed a re-edited Dune trailer before Tenet, and I'm just like, fuck! I'm so pissed this movie's not coming out in 2 months.
Man, Matt, and I'm like Dune, the Batman, like most of the Warner Brothers movies, I was really looking forward to. Like, okay, so they started filming Spider-Man 3, right?
Already, which is like weird because he was just filming Uncharted, so either that's taking a break or that's already wrapped.
Checks. It's not a pandemic; it's a bandemic. He leading by that shit.
Yeah.
So no, they got to do that. I think just because of the rumors that's going around, which is pretty much a foregone conclusion that it is a Spider-Verse.
Which is what we talked about.
And let the record say last week, we already said, what I mean, what was going on. Like, once Jamie Foxx signed on, I was like, all right, bro. It's the multiverse.
Well, it made sense how we talked about basically where like Madam Web and all that from the cartoon and, gathering all the past Spider-Man, live action ones at least, and putting them together. I don't know if they'll play something where like they bring in an animated one like we said last week, if they like have a Roger Rabbit type thing where like it's live action and animation type.
You know what? I had to think about it. Oh, well, they did. It's a rumor out right now that they did cast a Miles Morales.
Okay.
So either they'll probably have him already as Spider-Man, which makes more sense, and do the whole Roger Rabbit thing, or they just have him in the story for a future movie, just like they did with the Spider-Man game. So,
well, I mean, and that's the thing, and Miles Morales exists in that world potentially because Donald Glover's character in Homecoming says he has a nephew that lives right around here. So we are supposed to believe, because he's the Prowler, that's Miles Morales.
Damn, I forgot all about that. You're right.
No, see, I remember that because I was like, oh, okay, that's what they're alluding to. And then that, again, a year later, the animated movie comes out. So yeah. And
this is a good time to shoot movies like this because everybody's supposed to be in quarantine in the house, but they shooting some exterior shots. But this would be a good time to shoot stuff like, I don't know. It's just, these in New York, it's kind of hard to shoot stuff because, you got cameramen and fucking trees and on buildings. But I think because Disney in the past couple of years, they handled it a little well, where a lot of spoilers didn't get out. Ever since Endgame actually, when they were shooting, I think they kind of like clamped that down. They probably got security guards or police on the roofs and shit like that, which they could afford to do because it's Disney.
Yeah, well, I think and real quick, I mean, they filmed most of their stuff in Georgia anyway. They built that whole studio there for a reason. And something like Spider-Man is such a sound stage film anyway, because there's so much CGI involved, especially if you're going to be going to other universes and all that. I imagine it's going to be some exterior again where you can close off sets and this and that and have security, tightened up to where no one can snap pictures and all that. Because as we'll talk with the Pattinson Batman movie, there was a lot of set photos that came out this week, but it was also stuff where someone had said that the rumors about certain things turned out to be true based on how these set photos look, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But yeah, no, I'm just again, this I think was a funny thing, and then more news came out about potentially getting Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield Spider-Verse movie, which seems like I think would be their way of. I think they also said Tom Hardy's Venom can potentially be involved. I don't know how I feel about that.
No, no.
I think this is also the way of doing a Sinister Six as well.
Probably so, because Sony's so high strong on that shit. They've been wanting a Sinister Six movie since fucking 2003, 4.
Out to Drew Goddard. So one of my favorite things that anyone's ever said in like the last couple of years in Hollywood, especially comic book movies, was Drew Goddard when he was like, all right, we're gonna make my Sinister Six movie, and you know what? It's gonna be like the Sex Pistols meets the fucking this and that. And he's like, Doctor Strange, what's Doctor Strange have? Magic tricks? Fuck you, magic tricks. We got Tom Hardy as big as Godzilla crushing London or whatever. It's like he had these kind of comments where it's like the Sinister Six is gonna be fucking batshit amazing, and it never got made. And it never will get made, at least his version, funny enough. And Drew Goddard, he wrote Cloverfield. I think he was a writer on Lost and Buffy, and then he did The Cabin in the Woods. He did that okay Bad Times at the El Royale. But he's
a lot of mid movies.
Yeah, no, and that's what he is. He directed and wrote the first 2 episodes of the Daredevil show for Netflix, and then left for the Sinister Six movie that never got made. He's a guy who has a lot of ideas, but again, either he's mid or nothing ever gets made, or everything that does is mid. His comments about the Sinister Six movie, and then I like shortly after that, I kind of wrote like my own little spec script about like the Sinister Six. I wrote a little plot outline, which is like combining Reservoir Dogs and Sinister Six together. Maybe I'll share that one day.
So they're gonna have the whole lunch, and there's gonna be a lot of problematic words said in the cars.
No. It was my idea was basically that like it starts out that they're all locked up, and like they were a group of guys that got they were trying to rob a bank that Spider-Man stopped, and then like Norman Osborn recruits them, and they meet Dr. Octopus, and I'll send it to you. I think it's pretty good for considering what it is. But the main thing would be like, how can you make a Sinister Six movie if Spider-Man's not going to be involved? And that's the whole thing about Venom and Morbius. Is like, why are you making these solo movies if the main reason these characters exist is to fight Spider-Man?
Yeah, I mean, Sony probably just want their own individual bag. It was just like Mark or Disney probably told them like, you can have these characters.
No, literally, it's him fighting another Venom. It's like he's fighting another symbiote. That's what it is. And Morbius, he's gonna fight Tyrese's vampire hunter type character, I think.
Yeah, that shit gonna be hilarious.
Yeah, Tyrese.
But once again, we got to remember that Michael Keaton's Vulture is in this one too,
which only seems like it can happen based off a potential multiverse or because I mean it's almost like Tenet. It's so complicated how they're gonna do this. It's like,
man, I don't want to see no goddamn Morbius but then again, it might probably happen because, like you said, Tyrese's character, he said about a month or two ago that he signed a multi-movie deal with Marvel.
But that's all. I mean, but Frank Grillo also said that he signed Marvel. That was for a certain number of movies, but that's if they wanted it. Like, so if they wanted to have him in another movie, he'd be contractually obligated to be in it. So I think that's for the same deal with Tyrese. And Tyrese, as we discussed a couple weeks ago, he's got nothing to do. He's taking any deal that's got years on it. So
Shit, I mean, Lord knows if we're gonna get another Fast and the Furious after this, even though we said it's gonna be in time, it's like shit. They taking their time to release this one.
don't get me.
Is it even coming out next year now?
I think the plan still is to release it in April or May of 2021. But that will again, this is causing the delay for the 10th one, and yeah.
That shit's still crazy. We supposed to get all these movies in 1 year. Most of these movies are within this year.
Oh, the date I was with last night, like, oh, the No Time to Die is next month. I'm like, no, it got pushed back. She's like, what? Like,
Yeah. God damn, that was supposed to be next month as well.
I know, I was looking forward to seeing that as well. And she's like, there's not like, and she was like, why are the theaters open then? Like, because again, we were only like probably a dozen people there to see Tenet at like 7 o'clock at night. So it's like, why are the theaters opening if and they're still like releasing like small shitty movies right now is the funny thing. It's like
Yeah.
all these movies they knew were not going to make any money, they're putting into the theaters just to keep theaters open on like good graces type shit. So like when stuff does resume, they're like, no, you'll get all the blockbusters back and you'll be able to recoup all that money you lost by like really by us putting out the shitty movies that no one was going to see anyway.
Right, but I mean, like I said, they should have did like the Trolls movie. They put the Trolls movie World Tour out, and they made this money back.
No, I would have probably rented Fast Five like 2 or 3 times by now. And if they had put that at $50, I would have done it for $50. Like, did I say 50?
Yeah, because excuse me, a Wonder Woman movie, they like we're hopeful it comes out this Christmas. Like, bruh, if y'all
No,
don't put this shit just on stream,
I already got pushed back. Yeah, everything's been pushed back. That's supposed to be released in the next 2 months. That was a big blockbuster. Has been pushed back for sure, I think.
so did they already announce that they canceling the Oscars? Because there ain't no way you gonna have any movie be nominated.
I mean, maybe this is how. I don't know what.
Bad Boys for Life wins all the Oscars.
I think The Gentleman should win. That's my favorite movie of the year.
The Gentleman?
Yeah, by Guy Ritchie. Did you ever see that?
No, what the hell is that?
It's Matthew McConaughey, Charlie Hunnam, Henry Golding. It's a mobster movie. It's the typical Guy Ritchie British mobster movie.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. What is it about?
Matthew McConaughey is American living in London, and he has like the biggest weed organization, and like he's trying to sell that off to then retire, and then Henry Golding's trying to buy it from him, and that causes so much unrest in like the crime world. And Charlie Hunnam's Matthew McConaughey's number two, and it's really good. I think it's the best movie of the year that I've seen. That's because I've only seen I think 4 movies that came out this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, those 4 movies should battle it out for Oscars.
That, The Invisible Man, yeah.
Bad Boys for Life should get nominated for Best Picture because nothing else came out.
Unless they're gonna give it to The Last Dance, which I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Hey, that'd be crazy. The Last Dance wins Best Picture. It should. That was the best movie I've seen this year.
They gave OJ.
That's a documentary.
They gave the OJ doc an Oscar for best documentary, and that was technically aired on TV, and they showed it in some theaters. But if ESPN's confident they can do the same thing, they'll probably try to put it in theaters right now, just to qualify.
No, that should win just like best movie overall. The Last Dance. That's my favorite movie this year.
Yeah,
even though it's a documentary.
At the end of the year, I think we'll have our favorite things of the year, and that will definitely be on both of our lists. Would be.
You said our favorite things of the year?
Yeah.
Shit, that list's gonna be short.
No, I mean anything. Movies, music, TV, video games, anything that was released this year. I mean,
it still might be short, but you're right. As far as like music, I only got like 5 albums I really like. A lot of people, man, it's just the industry didn't want a lot of music to come out this year because they greedy fucks and they think streams still matter only for them because they get all the money while the artist gets like 0.3% shares of every song that stream.
Yeah, because the artist couldn't tour, so they were like, "Why should I release more music if I'm not going to be able to make their version of their profit off it.
Right, and all the ones that can release music and they'll still get numbers, it don't really matter right now. I mean, they good, they well off. Not counting their pockets, they well off. But it's like
We talking
I don't
about
need to put music on right now.
are you talking about Drake specifically with that?
Drake, K Dot, Rihanna's never getting us another album. She doesn't have to.
Does this
But the three artists, J. Cole, even though I'm not huge on J. Cole, but those first three artists I named, they never need to put out music again, and it'll be like fine. Like they don't need to put out music for financial reasons or for the discography. Like they solidified in history.
No, and that's the thing. Like again, Rihanna, she had the Fenty Savage fashion show a week or two ago. I mean, she has so much Fenty stuff, whether it be the makeup or the clothing, that like she doesn't have to make any music to make profits anymore. And Drake, I listened to the producer 40. He was on Kevin Durant's podcast. It was a great podcast. He talked about kind of the process, and he was saying that Drake doesn't have to have a set date. Like if he announced tomorrow that he'd be releasing the album, the whole industry would shift to him releasing it. Yeah, so like don't worry when he does or doesn't, and he, it was probably done 2 months ago, or it'll be done in whenever he thinks it'll be done. But he always knows when it's time to release it.
Yeah, because I know like in July, one of the producers said like the album is 90% done.
So thing, it was, I think maybe late July. It said 80%. He posted something on Instagram that said 80%, and it was right after I think the "Laugh Now, Cry Later" single was released.
Yeah, and getting numbers.
But
it's just it could be sample clearances as well, because people don't understand sample clearances to tell you shit.
No, that's the thing in this interview. 40 said that Drake doesn't give a fuck about samples. Like he'll pay it regardless. Like any sample. I'd say it'll be on my thing of favorite. See, it'll be on my list of favorite things. This interview. But he just basically said, like, yeah, Drake doesn't care about how much the sample is or what kind of sample it is. If he thinks it works for the song, he'll use it. It's like there's no matter what the price is at the end of the day.
Yeah, I gotta listen to that interview. I'm a music geek when it comes to like the technical part, so
yeah,
I'm interested to hear what he says.
And he talks about how he was making he was super in technology and all that, and he was doing stuff on the laptop in Toronto at that time that no one else was doing, and like that blew a lot of people's minds, and how him and Drake record So Far Gone in this small apartment with just a laptop and a mic, and that's how they made this big debut. I mean, this big breakthrough for Drake. It's just, yeah, I'd highly recommend it. It's really good. And Kevin Durant, I mean, it's only the second official episode of his podcast, but he's pretty good at it. I mean, he's a good interviewer. It's just him chatting up with people that he already knows. Like the first one was with him and Kyrie Irving, and that was a pretty good one to listen to understand Kyrie Irving a little bit more, and just to hear him kind of not have to watch what he's saying, because everything Kyrie Irving says gets a reaction. But
yeah, which is strange because I wouldn't think, and there's no disrespect to him, anything Kyrie Irving says has any weight after this motherfucker said the earth was flat. And then he tried to come back and say, oh, no, I was joking. Man, if it's flat, if you believe the motherfucker flat, then it's flat, bro.
Yeah, I think he was trying to say that, like, after a while, he wanted just to get out of the spotlight and not wanting to talk to anyone or anything. He just wanted to do stuff away from media, and it can be seen as very like anti-media, but also like they have a right to be. Like what the NBA media does, it's so bent up on like turning people against each other or causing disruption and all that. Again, it's a big industry. It's a multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar, obviously, enterprise for sports. But yeah, back to Tenet, because that's how we'll segue. And like I said, I'd probably put it in the mid-tier of Nolan movies. Like a little bit around, like the tier probably below, or like around Interstellar and The Dark Knight Rises, where you try to do too much, but you respect the technical aspect of it. And again, it's a great cast. He always gets a great cast and great performances. But it's probably in that third tier of, movies I'll rewatch every, like I haven't seen Interstellar since the first time I saw it, and I haven't watched The Dark Knight Rises in forever. But I'd say it's in that same class of um, really long, good set pieces, but also like it tries to do too much at times where you're like, okay, it's not his best work, but you still appreciate the technical aspect of it. And I can see maybe why Robert Pattinson got cast as Batman after this, because he is kind of playing a suave guy at the end, but like his version of Bruce Wayne based off the trailer, which I had it linked if you want to kind of watch it and review it, even though we've probably seen each other multiple times. But his Bruce Wayne just seems like it's gonna be so emo and like dead parents, like
like Batman is really supposed to be. And then this motherfucker went off. First of all, and I'm going into my fan fiction because Batman's my favorite character. I'm trying to remember when or how he found Ra's al Ghul and the Legion of Shadows. Because the Nolan series try to say Ra's al Ghul. Motherfucker, it's not Ra's al Ghul. Ra's al Ghul and the Legion of Shadows. Not no League of Shadows, Legion of Shadows. I'm trying to go into my memory bank and remember how the fuck he even found them. Because I remember he was kind of on like the borderline. And this movie, I think, is going to do, going back to what you're saying, I think it's actually going to do well in telling that story about this dude being a borderline alcoholic or having an addiction problem, as it seems like he has in the trailer, which is true. Bruce was like, you know, strung out and shit going through it. And then this movie also seems like it'll go on the psychology of why he said, fuck it, I'll be Batman. More than just, I want to beat villains up. And my fear of bats has made me Batman. It's like, no, it's like, I want to do something with my life, and this is the way to do it. And then I'm guessing Alfred is going to be like, bro, you can donate money. But he's like, I can donate money all the time. But going back to what I'm saying, I'm trying to remember how the fuck did he find Ra's al Ghul? I think he found somebody and they told him, like, this guy can help you out with your problems. See, now, even though this is basically Batman Year One, or is leading into The Longest Halloween, which at this point seems to be confirmed, because apparently this is going to be like Year One, and then I think the Longest Halloween is like the next movie, because apparently I think they said something about a casting for the Mad Hatters, like extras for the Mad Hatters, like goons or whatever.
I'd say if there is a next one, the reports about the trouble with Robert Pattinson on set. So that's the thing. We wanted to talk about this last week, ran out of time, but because it was bigger in the news last week that Robert Pattinson was causing a lot of problems during production by being out of shape because he wasn't working out during the pandemic, which he admitted to GQ that he wasn't working out when he was supposed to, and then they resumed production. He gets COVID, which they said apparently was a cover-up for him to try to get back in shape. He didn't get back in shape, and that pissed Matt Reeves off. So Matt Reeves is just trying to wrap this movie up as quick as he can and move off it. And this is all speculation from some guy on YouTube who's got like a weird name.
So it's gotta be legit.
No,
User 23784.
No, it's something like it's like I think like cock is involved, and I'm like, why would you put that in your like username?
Nasty white guy.
That's what I mean.
That, you know what? Real quick, this is why I can't watch a lot of those. And they did actually a great job with the boys, even though you know they had some of their grotesque stuff. This isn't why I can't watch a lot of the Seth Rogen and type jokes, written shit, because it's all about like it's that white boy humor, like
a lot of
pussy and fucking shit, and I'm gonna fuck you in your ear and all that weird shit. I'm like, bro, how the fuck do some of y'all find that shit funny? That's some like college frat boy humor. I'm like, bro, this shit ain't even funny.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's at times it's funny, but also it's like this is a bit much. Like, really?
Yeah, I think they wrote or produced The Boys. I actually like The Boys. That shit is actually low key.
We can talk about that a little bit at the end when we get into the smaller topics. But yeah, again, this Pattinson, it's all rumors. Could it be true? It could be. Could it be complete bullshit? Yeah, just as well it can be total fabrication. But I say I would believe like 65% of it based off like
Yeah.
being a handle, like a lot to handle. Because so the movie that was released on Netflix, The Devil of the Time, apparently he didn't practice his accent with a dialect coach, and everyone else did. And he just showed up with this accent, and the director's like, "Is that what you're gonna do?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then they're like, "I guess that's what he's gonna do." And everyone's like laughing at it on like in the reviews, are like, he just like he's that kind of artist, and that's he took this Batman role to finance every project he's gonna do after that. Like he doesn't want to be Batman. He took the paycheck. Can't blame him for that. But it's like,
You can't knock the hustle. Like, hey, y'all gonna give me a bag? That's what I'm saying. Like, when they talk about some of these actors being difficult, I'm like, I understand you don't want to work around that shit 16 hours a day. But then some of them, they do that as the end game. They're like, well, you already got me signed for the project. I'm gonna take this money and leave. The
yeah,
problem is, it's like, bruh, if they gotta recast another fucking Batman, and it's like, dog, this keep happening every 5 years, it's a new Batman. Something happens.
they're gonna, and that's what I'm like. This will be my prediction, is that this will be Robert Pattinson's only Batman movie, and that after this Batman movie, they're gonna restart it. It won't continue the story. It'll just be another complete
If
restart.
I'm done. If they restart the shit again, I'm done. Just Matt Reeves already said he's signed on for 3 movies, 4 movies, whatever the case may be. You can't keep doing this shit, Warner Brothers. It's a bad look. Even though, you know what I mean, Marvel is relatively quiet these days because they kind of just reaching for everything else that, you know, still gonna make them some money, but it's like, it's like, bruh, y'all can't keep doing this. Don't do the story over. If you got to replace another Batman, first of all, y'all got to do some type of pre-screening. Make sure this dude gonna be committed to it. You got to get him to sign some type of contract instead of just having his agent. The problem is with movie casting, it still goes by the old shit. Yeah, my agent gonna sign off for it. I signed off for it, but my agent gonna sign off for it. My lawyer, I don't have a lawyer that looks over the paperwork. The agent is the lawyer when you sign on to movies. It's like, bruh. But at the same time, you shouldn't need any legal implications when it comes to doing a movie. As you know, as an actor, it's like, bro, you know your lines, show up. You're supposed to show up on time. Know your lines. That's all it really is. It's very simple how an acting contract is. Like they got little details in there that people, you know, you got to read and look up. But for the most part, it's very simple. Your agent is like, hey, we got this movie. All you got to do is just know your lines. Like, I think they need to start doing some type of, you got to start getting, I want to say like athletic contract, so to speak. When you are an actor, like, bro, if you do this, you're gonna get suspended. If you do this, then we cut you.
I think they got,
Because
certain deal where like we can cut you at any time, no pay, and like because the contract was guaranteed for only this amount, not for the rest amount. Like,
but see, the thing is, they won't do that because these agents are so damn greedy. They
mm-hmm.
want they 12%. They want they 12 to 15%. If you were CAA, I think it's like 15%, maybe higher than that. So they want, depending on who you are. So they want they, you know what I mean? They want their coke money. So they like, no, I can't do that. That's the biggest issue because it's like, like so what I believe about it and working with him is the whole, I'm not going to do this because I don't want to do a thing. And it's not because he's a superstar mindset. It's just these RC dudes is different. Like you said, these actors, they different.
Yeah, he's a guy who never wanted to be a superstar and was thrust into it because he had a small role in the big Harry Potter movie, and then he goes on to be the star of the Twilight franchise. And after that, it's like, I'm this huge star known around the world, and like I don't want to be. I want to make these weird movies with, these big directors and like the art world, and occasionally do a big studio movie. But for the most part, I want to take weird roles that challenge myself because again, like he's an artsy guy, and some of the, I mean, you can see like stuff like Good Time and High Life things he's done in the past couple of years. It's like it's nothing a guy who's done Batman would consider doing it. And same thing we said about Christian Bale, but Christian Bale at least had the look of a guy who could be a movie star. Robert Pattinson doesn't want to be a movie star. And that's why Ben Affleck was the perfect choice, because Ben Affleck always was a movie star, and that's what his goal was to be. Him becoming a director was like secondary because because he just washed out. Like Hollywood was finished with him because he kept making flops after flops after flops.
Yeah.
And and I think to be Batman, and it's still a dumb thing to say, and that some guys I think flipped out about it completely when he said he wasn't working out. But you still got to show up and be in shape. Granted, it's a lot of it's stuntman work, but every superhero movie has a scene where the guy is shirtless and is like in great shape just to show that like, oh, this guy's a superhero. Look at him, like blah blah blah. I mean, the only one who really doesn't have to be is like again Spider-Man, because Spider-Man's a guy like my size and all that.
But apparently he gained shape. You seen Tom Holland? He swole a little bit.
But Robert Pattinson's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Like, no.
I'm like, bro, they got regimens where you don't have to go crazy. Like I seen Henry Cavill's regimen.
Scott Steiner eat a steak.
Yeah, like eat a steak stick, man. I gotta quote Scott Steiner, the great Scott Steiner. Eat a steak stick, man. Like, bro, you don't have to go do the Henry Cavill whole workout like he did for Superman. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do the Ben Affleck workout. All that shit is easy, by the way. Well, at least for me, it's easy. But I could do that shit. That shit is light work. But the thing is, and I'm not putting myself over. I'm just saying. I looked at it and I'm like, all right, bro.
Look at their casting for Static Shock. It's gonna be Banks. So
no, I'm too old and bald. That ain't gonna work. I can't have no dreads. I'm like, nah. They need somebody with a hairline.
They're gonna give you the Terrence Howard dreads, where it's just like it's a full wig and like you ain't fooling no one.
No, I'm not that jabroni. I would never do that. If I can't. I mean, Sam Jackson is bald and he always had hair pieces, but still.
Yeah, great. But that's the move. Just like Jude Law. Like Jude Law, he showed up to the young Pope and like they gave him the most immaculate hair piece. And if I was him, I'd be like, I'm leaving with this shit. I'm wearing this shit 24/7.
Is that what he wore when he was picking up them women?
I don't know.
That's still crazy, bro. That's not crazy, but at the same time, because, I mean, shit, anybody with money does that, but he was picking them up. I'm like, bro, you got escort money. I'm like, I don't think you need to pick them up. Like, bro, I'm pretty sure in Hollywood, somebody be like, hey, Jude Law want to holler at you. Who the fuck is Jude Law? Dude that did a movie with Renee what he said Chappelle show, Renee Zellweger. What is a Renee Zellweger?
Yeah, it's from Chappelle. Who is Renee Zellweger? When he's reading the magazine, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But with him it's like just do something. I feel like you get paid a lot of money, or no, he only get paid like $1 million, I think, apparently. He took you know what? Maybe that's why he pissed. He took a 360 deal there and realized that apparently he only get like $1 million for the movie.
Robert Pattinson?
Yeah, I swear I read that.
See, all right, so the second choice was Nicholas Hoult. He was Beast in the second series of X-Men movies and was almost basically a similar choice in terms of Pattinson. Like, they were tall, slender British dudes who were going to have to, like, put on muscle to be Batman, but that were also had the look of like what Matt Reeves is going for, which is again very emo. Like you can tell like the haircut that Pattinson had.
What did dudes from South Park did? Life is Pain.
Yeah. The emo kids, yeah. That's what Matt Reeves wanted. He wanted the kid whose parents died. He didn't want the suave debonair or billionaire. He wanted the lonely kid who's raised by a butler and is trying to get back at the world. And that's it. And then in this Batman movie, I'm just gonna put on the trailer.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm getting my laptop open so I can look up. I know what actor you're talking about now, but that actually would have worked too. Thinking about that dude, that actually would have worked. Hey, shouts out to everybody that think that was the Penguin, Colin Farrell's Penguin, and then we seen the set, and it's like, damn, that really is Colin Farrell.
Yeah, I'm like, see, I hate prosthetics in movies. I don't know why. I think it's like if you're gonna cast an actor that looks almost exactly like it. Like, don't add I think it's because I hate Johnny Depp, and that's every Johnny Depp role is prosthetics.
He definitely needed something when old girl was beating his ass.
He was wearing all those bracelets and shit. He was wearing.
He tried to say, "Oh, he was out here doing cocaine. Bitch, you beat me up every day. I'm gonna get high."
I believe he's doing cocaine though. I mean, shit.
She said every day he would have cocaine. I think a book or a CD of fucking Keith Richards and something else, and gin.
Definitely, yeah.
Bitch, I'm trying to numb the pain. You keep hitting on me, and I can't do nothing. You keep saying you gonna summon Aquaman on me.
Oh shit! All right.
Why is moving like a PlayStation 1 game?
I'm your secret friend. Underneath the bridge. Who? Toppers from a league. Animals are trapped. Haven't a clue. Let's play a game. Just me and you. Any of this mean anything to you? You're becoming quite a celebrity. Why is he writing to you?
The hell are you supposed to be?
I'm vengeance.
You got pushed back to 2022, right? Or this later 2021? Remember? I mean, it's a good looking. Again, the whole vibe is that it's a Batman movie. It's supposed to look like David Fincher's Seven. When I first saw it when it was released, I'm like, yeah, it looks good, but is it gonna be good? Is what I mean. Because again, we've been tricked by trailers, especially comic book ones. Again, like I thought Batman v Superman was gonna be.
Yeah, I'm also looking at some right now. Apparently, somebody was in a Superman outfit on set, but this whole multiverse shit. But they already talked about how that's probably going to be involved, right, with these new Batman movies and shit.
No, I think this is supposed to be a standalone. Well, again, I don't think it will be a series because I don't think they'll make another one after this. At least not in.
They will, just not with him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And if we were who to replace him with, I mean, I was trying to think. I don't know what kind of actor would replace him. That would be. There is obviously, but the whole big thing again, Pattinson was like, all right, he's a guy who's still young enough to make 3 to 4 more movies within the next 10 years. And like the whole thing with Ben Affleck, it was just too late. It was 5 years too late when they cast Ben Affleck.
Yeah, I mean, the other choice you said is actually interesting. I would have went with him over Patterson, but
was told, I don't know, because I still think it's that thing where like you think of him as Beast first. Like my dad always thinks of Chris Evans as Human Torch. He doesn't like calling him Captain America. And then,
That's hilarious.
and then Ryan Reynolds, he was the Green Lantern, and I mean, but luckily he was Wade Wilson in that X-Men Origins movie first, and then he took Green Lantern, and now he's Deadpool. It's that thing where you see someone. Well, Ben Affleck was Daredevil. I mean, very underrated movie. I think Daredevil is a very underrated superhero movie, by the way. I'm one of the few Daredevil heads out there. Yeah.
Yeah, you by yourself. I don't know how you you by yourself on that one, bro.
Colin Farrell was Bullseye, and now he's the Penguin, looking not like Colin Farrell.
Yeah, I like the prosthetics.
I mean, again, so the villain, yeah. So it's supposed to be basically year one, and that's what this vibe gives, like, because it's a Batman suit that doesn't look like it's fully complete. Got the Catwoman aspect with Zoe Kravitz, who will probably be the best thing out of the movie. Would be her. Just you can
Absolutely.
It's not just because she's Zoe Kravitz. I bet that half of that part of the movie will be the best. It's like because again, the Catwoman Batman combo is always good. Like that's from the comics to whatever it lands in movies. Like it's always translated very well, no matter who's playing the parts. And then John Turturro is playing Falcone, and that's the thing. Those set footage had all four of them, like attending a funeral. So it's a thing where like they're all kind of around each other, and people are they're playing their alter egos. But again, yeah, I'm curious to see like who are the Darby Allin people he's fighting. Like, what gang are they involved in? Because they just look like Darby Allins. Like,
I think it's Penguins.
Like that's what they're going to be called is Penguins. Yeesh.
I mean, Penguin. And like the Arkham video game, they call it like the Penguins gang and all that shit like that.
I mean, the Paul Dano Riddler, we only hear him. I mean, we see him tape up that. But I mean, I think that's a good choice for the Riddler. Paul Dano's a guy who's kind of like creepy and like that type of like psychotic looking way, like he was in Prisoners. He's very good in that. And again, Jonah Hill was either supposed to play that role or the Penguin role, and I don't know which one I would have wanted him to play. I think he would have done a good job though on either one.
Yeah, they probably would have tried to make him the Penguin, but he was asking for too much money. Which I mean, it would have been great, but at the same time, it seems like Colin Farrell was going to do a good job. But it definitely was going to be the Penguin. I mean, let's keep it a buck. Not body shaming, but come on.
What? Well, Colin Farrell, I mean, he's let himself go. He's not movie star Colin Farrell. He's not the star of SWAT. So
yeah, but you know what I mean? I think with him, for the most part, his body's not used to being that, so he could drop the pounds off. But with Jonah Hill, he's used to being a certain weight.
Yeah.
I don't know if he dropped weight again, but
not recently. I think he's kind of he's not like how he was in Superbad, but it's like in between that and how he was in the first 21 Jump Street. Like it's in between that.
You remember he got skinny for a minute, and everybody's like, "He good?"
Yeah, no, that first 21 Jump Street, he's like the same guy. Like he looks completely different.
Yeah, eyes bugging out. I'm like, yo, I thought he had a thyroid issue or some shit, bro.
But I mean, yeah, I don't like. Here's again, my big prediction. I don't think Robert Pattinson makes another Batman movie. I don't think Matt Reeves will. I think they're gonna wrap it up after this one. I think it'll be a one.
They gonna keep making it. I think he signed on. Matt Reeves did, and besides that, they got to get all this money, bro. You see how greedy these labels and how greedy these movie studios are. They like, nah, bro, we got to get our money up. Because they took a hit this year. This is probably the worst, if not one of the worst years since the Great Depression, where it's just like, oh shit, we ain't making no money from no movies from the theaters. We ain't making the theaters ain't making no money from concessions. It's like, nah.
If they released every movie on VOD at $35, they would have made profits. It wouldn't have been the profits they wanted, but they still would have made profits.
They idiots, man. Pride. That's that pride shit.
Release them, and then, all right, it's on VOD for a month. Then they take it off. And then if you didn't see it in that time span, they release it when it's supposed to be released in theaters. And I mean, I'd probably pay on demand and still want to maybe see it in theater, depending on what movie it was, just to see it on the bigger screen. I mean, And again, it'd be at a cheaper price, but I mean, it depends really. It's again, the whole concept is of what's going on as well. And again, I mean, I was sitting in a theater last night, like for the first time in 7 months, being like, wow, this is something I would do kind of not regularly, but at least every month or every other month, I'd go to the movies just to, if there, because then there's almost something playing every month now in this era, or before it was only the summer, but now since the summer gets filled up, they put out, again, they put out No Time to Die in November. They put out Dune in December. Movies can be released at any time now.
Exactly. I'm trying to see when it's releasing on digital.
What?
Tenet.
Oh, Tenet? Ooh, I'd probably say maybe January. Either
God damn, that far?
I'd say December or January at the latest.
All right, man. The minute I don't have to see who got a good camera, I might have to just like fuck it. As long as the audio good, that's all that matters.
Yeah, see, I wasn't too scared about risking the Rona to go see it.
Oh, they said Amazon. I'm sorry, I'm tripping. They said Amazon. They said November.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
That made more sense. I'm like, bruh, usually with movies in theaters, it'd be like 2-3 months. Okay, I can wait till next month, definitely. The funny, guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna make all their money, but they're not gonna get the profit. They just gonna get it back via digital release and Blu-ray.
And like I said, I mean, I'd say I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Yeah, like I said, Tenet, and I'm not disappointed. I didn't like expect it. It was just kind of like exactly what I thought it'd be just off the trailers and not knowing, even though I knew about like what the premise was going to be, but just like seeing how it played out, I'm like, oh, it's kind of exactly how I thought it would be. Now we're gonna.
I think No Time to Die is coming out next month in Germany.
Oh wow, that'd be weird.
Yeah, in Germany. But that's what happened with Tenet. Tenet came out. That's why Cam leaked.
Yeah, I got
it early.
In London first because Tom Cruise saw it with his fucking mask on, like a fucking psychopath.
Did he? Right? Did he? How did he see it though? Did he see it like?
It's not with a full theater is what it looked like because he posted the video. It was him, Chris McQuarrie, the director of the Mission Impossible movies, and it looked like they had a full crowd when they saw it because they recorded the before and after. And have you seen the latest photos of the Mission Impossible 7?
No, you could pull them up.
It's just him. It's him and Haley Atwell, who was Agent Carter in the MCU. It's just like whatever sequence they're shooting together.
I think it is April 21st. My fault. April 21st for international release of No Time to Die.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Everything got pushed back. So I don't know if Fast 9 moved from because I think when the pandemic started, I think they staked their claim for the same date or close to it a year from now is what Fast 9 did. And then more stuff got pushed because they thought it was only going to be a couple months and then they got further delayed. So again, because No Time to Die was supposed to come out in April, they pushed it to November. Then it's like November's a month away. They're like, fuck, it's still the same. Like nothing's changed.
May 28th, it comes out. Fast 9.
Yeah. I mean, that's the last week we talked about the movies that we were anticipating for next year, and it was all the movies that we didn't get to see this year, along with some ones that were already supposed to come out next year. I mean, what are the odds we even see half of those? I don't know. I mean,
just digital release, but it ain't gonna happen. Too much pride.
well, speaking of things around for a year, AEW, again, Banks' favorite wrestling promotion, celebrated 1 year this past week. I still haven't seen the show yet.
You don't need to. You really don't need to. I can't remember the last time I watched AEW.
Really, like you can't remember the last time you actually watched it.
No, I can't. I don't want to see bullshit. I don't care. I think the last time I seen a clip, I'm talking about just a clip, was fucking Rusev doing the same bullshit. The brass ring, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I don't care about promotion. It's been a year now. Y'all contradict everything that y'all. Let me get my shit off. It's been a year now You motherfuckers said we gonna do this different from any other company. Cool. Y'all went ahead and got your bag from Ted Turner. Cool. You got a TV deal. That was unexpected to get one that fast. I thought y'all motherfuckers would be on TNN, Spike TV, whatever the fuck they call now, or maybe just on TBS at the most. So y'all got y'all bag. Cool. Then it was like, all right, there's some cool little shit going on. Y'all put the strap on All Lives Matter, the wall up Jericho. Y'all put the strap on him. He started turning to a goofy motherfucker full of cocaine and alcohol, talking about the bubbly. No, it's steroids, cocaine, and the bubbly, you fat motherfucker. Titties dangling and shit. So it went from that to they passed the fucking strap to Dean Ambrose. Mind you, these motherfuckers have only had 2 champions in the past year, and they've been having a title on both of them. Obviously, Dean Ambrose has had it the longest. 2 former WWE guys who had a program with each other in WWE, they had the strap. Both of them bitching and complaining every motherfucking month. It seemed like these punk-ass writers in the wrestling always want to have a story. Oh, so how was WWE treated? He gonna say the same shit he just said last fucking week with the same question about how WWE treated him. He bitching and complaining. He was the weakest one in the Shield. He was one of the weakest workers on the card. He's one of the weakest workers out right now, being Dean Ambrose. So get the fuck out of here. Of course he's gonna be upset. He's gonna be jaded. A year later, we only got like 6 fucking women's workers. Maybe 4. I can only name 4 of them. The title, they barely have them on the main cards. You got AEW Dark. The guy, Brian Cage, who was supposed to be a star, is on there most of the time. You got him on there. Luke Harper came through. One of the only people that really didn't have anything bad to say about his former company like that. He didn't.
No. He was doing segments week after week mocking Vince McMahon. You can't let him off the hook. He was mocking Vince.
No, he was doing this shit because that's the given. It seemed like that's what you do. When you go from WWE, you got to say, they didn't treat me right. I can't wait till Eric Rowan come over there and do the same shit about the fucking spider that was in the cage or whatever the fuck that stupid shit was. If he does decide to do that, he been quiet. So I'm like, all right, maybe he found something else to do. Maybe this motherfucker picking up trees and throwing them in the back of trucks. That's his new job or passion. Or he trying to audition for the God of War movie if they make one. I don't know. But everybody does that shit. Okay, that's the given. Luke Harper is the least, which says a lot. Which says a lot about your company. Because out of everybody, he's done the least. Like, he's done this shit. Okay, that's cool. You can mock Vince McMahon and all that. People have been doing that for years after they get jaded in the league. But the fact that y'all be dick riding the former company all the time, that's the shit they get on my nerve. The demo gods. You a fucking clown, bro. You came from being one of the top 5 greatest of all time to being Hulk Hogan-esque. You a bitch, bro.
Isn't that funny how so he had that run in 2016, 2017 with Kevin Owens, and everyone's like, oh, wow, Jericho's like, he snuck up on like the greatest of all time discussion of like, if you actually had a look of all around talent, duration, he's up there. Like, you couldn't ignore him. And then he went to New Japan and was like doing programs like Kenny Omega, and it just added more to like, wow, like what a legacy. And then he goes to AEW and it's like, he's all lives matter. He's like, the pandemic's fake. Because he's doing these shows in fucking what's it called?
He been spending too much out here in this shithole great part of America called the South. Apparently the Bible Belt is the greatest place on the fucking planet, especially to most of these Americans. This ain't shit. Fuck Florida, with all due respect. But anyhow, he spent too much time out here. This motherfucker just...
He lives in Tampa.
He lives... That's what I'm saying. Like, bruh, you in Tampa where everybody mostly that works with your former company lives at. Like, everybody lives in Tampa. A lot of people live in Orlando, but most of the motherfuckers live in Tampa.
Yeah.
And you out here just talking shit about them. It's like you call yourself the demo god. What the fuck is the demo god? Is this the same demographic that's listening to your trash ass music? Probably so. Motherfuckers get you. Listen, if you catching a corona to listen to that fucking band, you might deserve that shit, bro. I'm just gonna say it. Who the fuck want to listen to Judas loud? Who the fuck wanna live? That's the only song I know by him. I can't even remember. Oh, Fozzy, that trash ass band. What's that song they made? I do remember that song. We gotta keep it moving. The devil's on my back. I don't know why I remember that shit, but fuck that song. That's another reason I'm saying fuck Chris Jericho. And let me get to Cody Rhodes.
Okay,
this
there we
motherfucker
go.
right here.
I was wondering.
Everybody got executive producer on that fucking card. You got it. Your wife got it. She need to come home. Kenny Omega got it. The Young Bucks. Who the fuck? FTR probably got it. Everybody got executive producer. Yeah, the FTR, I don't fuck with them. They kind of calmed down. They was on their bullshit, but they kind of calmed down on the whole Vince McMahon thing. But the thing is with these dudes, all these people that's so jaded about Vince, somebody just gonna throw a microphone in their face or ask them a question, they gonna start going off. Man, fuck the F. You know what? Fuck that. I ain't gonna be like, all right, shouts out to them. Man, fuck FTR. They trash anyway. They be on Twitter calling people bitch asses like, bruh. Man, nobody care about you being a big ass white dude. Bullets work for you too. Motherfuckers, these wrestlers is different. They think they can't be touched. It's the same thing we said with Matt Riddle. Motherfuckers think because they can fight that they can't get hit with metal. Like, bruh, metal hits your body too, motherfucker. Y'all some weird egotistical motherfuckers, but that's all y'all do is just a lot of y'all look at underage girls, work out all day, and just live in a weird world. So that's why you think can't be touched. And then you got incel motherfuckers that live with their mama that watch young girls and that play fucking World of Warcraft all day that just geek y'all ego up. But anyhow, this motherfucker Cody Rhodes, you was trash when you was in ROH. How the fuck you trash in ROH, bro? And ROH is straight, but it's a lot of trash. And a lot of motherfuckers been getting outed in that company. And you was trash then. This motherfucker thought because he was in ROH putting up the middle finger as one of his taunts, doing his Pops move, that he was fired. Man, you was Stardust, you was trash, bro. You never been fired. This motherfucker had Legend of Zelda boots on thinking he was cold. Nah. You in the company, you got your little Budweiser title, your Chuck E. Cheese title that you got going on right now. You got that. You still ain't tested. When he get the title now, when he get the world title, the AEW, that motherfucker gonna be on his waist for 2-3 years straight. He just waiting. He a sneaky little motherfucker. He doing this shit right now, keeping that goddamn fruit roll-up championship title around his waist. He keeping that shit around his waist so he can be slick and be like, I was the greatest mid-carder of all time. They got this whole win-lose record shit that don't equate to nothing. Because if you want to be honest, a lot of workers on AEW, hell, they won most of their matches. They ain't even on the main title or the main card. So what we doing, bro? Listen, I'm going to say the same thing I've been saying. Nyla Rose, Sonny Kiss, Private Party, Big Swole. Y'all need to go to WWE. Somehow get them to go to WWE because you could be a star. Nyla Rose, Sonny Kiss definitely could be a star in WWE, especially how everything is going now in the world. Bruh, marketing motherfucking dollars. Merchandise sales be crazy. They need to go there. Private Party just cold. I like those young dudes. They need to go to NXT where they can get around some real workers that'll help them get over instead of just putting over old ass and washed up champion tag teams we never heard of. Who the fuck? What's the best friends? Bruh, why the fuck I want to see the best friends and why the fuck I want to see these young dudes go against Kenny Omega and Hangman Page? No disrespect to Kenny Omega. He cool. But fucking, I don't want to see them go against Hangman Page. I didn't like Hangman Page in New Japan or the indie circuit. I don't like him because of his fucking name, too. That shit bothered me a little bit, so I don't want to see that match against the Private Party. Fuck that. But they are a walking contradictory. They got probably 3-4 years tops left because, we doing good on the range. Unless Ted Turner just going to re-up the money because he hate Vince, too. But that's a 20-something, 30-something-year-old rival. But, I mean, they just walking – it's nothing really I can say. I know I cut a whole shoot promo on them, but there's nothing really to say. They're walking contradictory. Real wrestling fans don't watch that shit. And when I mean by real wrestling fans, I mean us. Us that's actually, consensually being with women. We actually go outside. We actually eat more than fucking Pop-Tarts and Cheetos every day. We actually we have fucking jobs. So we don't play Xbox. Well, I don't know about you, but we don't play Xbox.
No, I gotta
All
agree.
right. Yeah, we don't be we
I don't
don't. We,
do that anymore.
all right, let me say this. What's that fucking game that the NCLs really like? The playground something. I forgot that shit called. That survival game.
I have no idea. Again,
I can't think of that shit right now. All my thought patterns, despite me cutting the shoe promo, my thought patterns is kind of off right now. But besides the point, we play actual games, motherfucker. We play Madden, we play 2K, we play Mafia over here. Y'all motherfuckers be up here playing World of Warcraft and playing shit where you survive in zombie apocalypses, because y'all incels still think the zombie apocalypse gonna come in, and it might be, but motherfucker, you won't survive because you out of shape and you watch AEW. Go ahead.
no, see, all right. So every Wednesday for the first 2 to 3 months, I had a split screen with NXT and AEW, and I'd go back and forth. And I did that, like I said, for the first 3 months, and like after a while, it got too difficult. And then I mainly started watching AEW first, and then watching NXT on the network. That way, I was still using the network a little bit more often. But then once the pandemic hit, I like stopped keeping up with AEW weekly, and just because I'm like, it like they were missing a lot of the key talent at first, and then that's when they ran that bullshit TNT title tournament where obviously it was designed for Cody Rhodes to win, like he's saying. Like, so this guy, Cody Rhodes, Mr. Mid-Carter, as I call him, says he's not a mid-Carter, says
He ain't even mid-carded.
the title he holds isn't a mid-card title, but yet it is because it's still in the mid-card of the show like it was last week when he won it back for the second time. He's the only two-time champion. There's been 3 champions. He's one of them because he's held it twice. I mean, there's technically 2 champions, but he's got 2 of the 3 reigns. He's
And
again
the title been out since what, earlier this year, if I'm not mistaken?
yeah, debuted at around March.
And it's not a problem, you know what I mean, to have a title around somebody. Hell, Bob Backlund had that motherfucker for 6 years
Well,
until the Sheik beat him.
With Jericho and Ambrose is that they put the title on Jericho first because obviously he's Chris Jericho. They need to solidify it. Then they had John Moxley. I almost said Dean Ambrose. They had John Moxley.
No, the motherfucker's Dean Ambrose. Just because you left and you cuss more don't mean you ain't Dean Ambrose, man. You still trash. You still do that. What this motherfucker do? He got to go to the ropes and do this stupid shit. The fuck is that move? That springboard shit. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The Nigel McGuinness clothesline?
All that, bro, why? I never understood that spot ever. Maybe I'm not a professional, so I don't fucking know.
Kyle O'Reilly does it, so it's okay with me. So
Alana did it, and she did it fucking better than him. She did it on Monday. But she did some type of form of deed. Yeah, that shit was actually unnecessary on Monday.
anyway,
shouts out to the chat because we was wilding. That was a classic ass night.
I was feeling sick on Monday, so I didn't see that. And like the last hour and a half of Raw, I just like passed the fuck out.
Oh, bro, you missed it. We was clowning. Shouts out to everybody on Discord.
After, and I was like, holy shit! Like they're like, what's Lana doing out? Like they were like, she got put at the table and still won the match, and everyone's like, at least she got put at the table first. Like another week, another table. It was just like,
oh, it's gonna keep happening. I hope to God, she don't go to AEW. Please don't go, but I know everybody say you talentless, but you gonna go over there, bro. Just you gonna be a manager, and you might not even be a manager. They might have you a manager for somebody on AEW Dark. Bro, what's the fucking point of AEW Dark when you got see, that's what I'm saying? This motherfucker just a goofy. You got your best talent that could be putting your company over on AEW, a YouTube show that's free, instead of the one that got you the bag on TNT. I thought for sure Brian Cage was going to be champion. I'm like, bruh, Brian Cage is, and I fuck with Brian Cage, but he's like what the incels should like, or maybe it's just, I don't know. Maybe they want a guy that they can, relate to, like Dean Ambrose, an out of shape motherfucker who is balding, where Brian Cage is swole as shit, even though, he probably, used his shit, but I ain't mad because I'm trying to look for the shit too. But at the same time, motherfuckers just think you take steroids and you turn to the Hulk. You still got to work out. So maybe he relate, but he better, like Brian Cage cold as fuck. This motherfucker like the Hulk, but he be doing motherfucking missile drop kicks and shit. So why is he not on the main card? Oh, that's why. Because Cody Rhodes don't want to get outshined by people that's way better than him. I can name most of the motherfuckers on AEW better than him. All right?
That's what I mean. So they they had a feud with Kip Sabian and Joey Janela, where again, like, because Joey Janela used to date Penelope Ford, and now she's engaged to Kip Sabian, and they wasted that on Dark. That could have been their Matt Hardy and Edge and Lita storyline, and they wasted it on Dark because the TV time's only for the Elite and any other WWE former star.
Yeah, that's it. Former,
or
and
someone.
then the Elite, 2 former motherfucking WWE people. One of them was trash as fuck. Name me a good Jack Swagger match. Tell me how the fuck he got the World Heavyweight title in WWE. I don't really remember. I just know he had that motherfucker.
He won the Money in the Bank and cashed it in.
Against who?
An injured Chris Jericho.
I was about to say Big Show, because I'm surprised. Didn't he have a feud with Big Show? It seems to be all the trash people got to have a feud with Paul White.
First feud, well, he feuded with Randy Orton kind of right after, and then his first feud was with the Big Show, and then he feuded with Rey Mysterio, who he lost the title to.
Oh, God, good. See, I don't remember shit about his career. I just remember the overbite and him doing that MAGA shit, we the people. I said, all right, bro.
Yeah.
Who is we? Who the fuck is the people? Jack Swagger? Who? You the feds.
And that's saying he's in a group with LAX, well, the former LAX, and then, Sammy Guevara, and you don't think he's looking at them like,
man, fuck Sammy Guevara, too. I forgot.
It's true.
We ain't forgot you. The motherfucker looking like the little otter from Kim Possible. Big teeth motherfucker. I can't stand Sammy Guevara talking about he going out here trying to rape somebody. They going to forgive him. They put this motherfucker on time off for a month. Let my black ass say, I'm about to be out here trying to do something problematic like that. Yeah. Motherfucker, you'll never hear from me again. It won't be no more podcasts. They call me a madman from behind the jail. That's what they going to be calling me. Fuck him. Name me something good Sammy Guevara has done. I ain't even see his indie career. Tell me a spot. Tell me when his signature moves. Tell me something good about Sammy Guevara. Go ahead, David. You tell me.
Just able to do a 630, I think. No, I mean, like, he's just a decent worker. That's what it is. I mean, like, his whole thing is that he's a douchebag. Like, that's what it is. Like, that's why he stands out. It's like he's a guy who, like, has the face of an asshole, and he is an asshole. Just like your boy.
He's ugly. I guess if a douchebag is called ugly, then that's what that motherfucker is. He's just an ugly little motherfucker.
Like your boy MJF. MJF, he has the look of it.
My boy MJF.
Did you not say a few months ago that he was the best heel in the business in the chat?
Sometimes I say stupid shit. I can admit that. All right. Sometimes I say a lot of stupid shit. More times in life, I say a lot of stupid shit. But I can admit when I'm wrong. These motherfuckers can't admit when they wrong. They think because they beating somebody on Wednesday that they better. And, like, I'm going to keep it a bug with you. AEW, I'm sorry, not AEW, fuck them. NXT, sometimes I don't even watch that shit live. Like, I'll watch the next day, like, well, that's what I do with most of wrestling. But now I'll probably be watching live because there ain't shit else on. But with NXT, it was a long period of time this year, especially during the pandemic, where I'll be like, all right, I might watch the show because it wasn't moving me like that. Was I watching AEW at times? I can admit, yeah, at times I was watching AEW more. And I was like, okay, I'm kind of fucking with AEW more than NXT. But the motherfucker started getting corny. And then NXT was like, okay, so we going to turn it up. But then the thing is with me, it's like, bruh, I don't allow too much corny shit. But when you keep doing it, it's like, all right, bro, I don't fuck with you forever. Yeah. You know what I mean? People have moments. At times, I feel like I do corny shit. But I could harkle back and be like, man, I'm doing some corny shit. Let me not do that because that ain't how I raised. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't Mr. Cool, but at the same time, I don't want to look like an idiot. But with them, it's just like, bro, y'all kept it going. My whole thing with AEW, well, amongst other things I've said, is, bro, they just simply didn't know how to shut the fuck up. I just don't understand that even in my personal life, how you just can't do your job, get your money, go home, shut the fuck up. Why y'all got to do this extra shit? It's just like prideful thing. It's this whole like, oh, I got some power behind me. I'm going to keep it a bug with you. It's this sort of white thing where it's like, all right, I got power.
No, it is.
And then, let me say fuck my old employer. Like, that's some white shit sometimes where motherfuckers want to be like, well, fuck my old employer. You got to understand, Cody Rhodes, their hand feeds you, don't cut your hand. It's jobs I don't fuck with no more. I've had a ton of jobs in my life. I got cut when the pandemic happened. Am I going to say fuck them? No, because that money helped me do something. Yeah. That money that you got from WWE, it helps you that you got from WWE where you was trash. New Japan where you was trash, motherfucking ROH where you was trash. You took all that money and you did something smart. You flipped it and got your own. That's a boss move. Even though you don't own AEW, you still want to go get a bag. You one of the producers. I think you got some percentage of the company, but still, it ain't yours. But either way, you have to front yourself the money from being an undercarder or mid-carder in order to get that. Cool. The thing is, it's just I don't understand when these motherfuckers just get bags like the Rusevs, all that, getting that merch money, all this shit, all these motherfuckers making money from WWE, then it's like, fuck them. Like, bruh, they the reason why you was able to get a crib somewhere, FTR. They was the reason why. I can't wait till the motherfucking MAGA sons get to AEW. Oh, boy. Oh, my God. Oh, when I tell you I'm going to be very pissed off, and I don't get mad about anything. But when I tell you, boy, I'm about to be bothered, I'm like, bro, I'm going to mute everything AEW. I don't watch them. I'm going to mute the shit out them motherfuckers because I know what's going to happen. Oh, yeah, and one of them stayed not that far from me, too. When that motherfucker was saying that stuff, I'll just leave it alone. But, you know, he ain't going to stay that far from me. I'll leave it alone. But, you know what I mean? It's just they are walking contradictory to what they said. I like that article, too. I think I sent it to you that the guy wrote about 1 year later. He kind of saying the same thing we're saying 1 year later, and they're walking contradictory of what they said they were supposed to be.
Basically, everything they said at the start, they've turned their backs on. I mean, they said they're going to push new talent, all right, and they've pushed certain key talent. Like I think future of the companies, guys like Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy, Sonny Kiss, you know, people like that, and they've pushed them at moments, but then they've also stopped those pushes. And again, the win and keeping track of wins and losses, they did at first, but they haven't since, and it doesn't play a factor in number one contenders or anything because they still have multiple battle royals every other month to determine a new number one contender. And now they're doing a tournament, and the tournament is, it's Pentagon, Phoenix, it's, you know, Hangman Page, Kenny Omega. It's like we kind of know the obvious outcome. It's either going to be Hangman Page or Kenny Omega, and they're going to meet in the finals, and the winner's going to face Moxley. It's like it's easy to predict like how it is for WWE. That's because WWE is always going to let you know what's happening. The AEW, the whole point is like to be fresh and new. Like realistically, should someone like Pentagon win this tournament? Yeah, like
and more Phoenix, they good individual.
That's the thing. It's like, or I mean, Pac. If Pac was here, I think he should have been champion by now. That's the thing. Is the pandemic fucked up a lot of shit in wrestling. And again, maybe this Jon Moxley title reign wouldn't have lasted as long if there wasn't a pandemic, because I think they would have put it on someone else by now. And again, Cody Rhodes not holding the title now. He probably will at some point because he's as much Triple H, Jeff Jarrett as anyone is in this era. Talk about having an ego, but then not wanting to admit you have an ego. That's him. And the whole thing with the Young Bucks now is they're trying to say, why aren't they champions yet? When you know from the start, they're like, if we put the tag titles on ourselves right away, everyone will say, oh, they put the belts on themselves and put themselves over. That's why they put Private Party over that first match, because they were going to build the tag division. And it kind of worked, but then it ended as soon as it started. Really, like Private Party is now managed by Matt Hardy. That's like a death sentence in 2020. No one wants to see Matt Hardy on TV.
Hey, man, look, it's a death sentence for everybody but the Hardy boys, or the Hardy men, as I call them.
No, but I mean, like, Private Party, like, I think everyone in our chat obviously loves Private Party when we watch AEW, but it's like, but now you're putting it with Matt Hardy, so it's like, it's instant jokes. Like, we can't take these guys seriously if they're around Matt Hardy, no matter how much.
And it didn't make no sense. He just jumped in one day, was like, I'm managing Private Party. I'm like, bro, what you Black Lives Matter? I don't understand. How you just jump in, Matthew? Why you ain't at home, bro? You just got cleared after a month of you taking a fall for a trash-ass company from a trash-ass worker like Sammy Guevara, and now you cleared. Bro, why? Just go home, bro. What I say every day. What I say every single day.
Go home. You got
Him and who? Him and Jeffrey. You ain't mad at Jeff no more. I'm calling you by your government name. You the full thing. You can't be cool. You can't have no short name no more. It's Jeffrey and Matthew. Motherfucking Jeffrey getting jumped every day. You left, you let your little brother get jumped. How you feel? You took your ass just to Tampa. I'm sorry, they in Jacksonville. You took your ass to Jacksonville. I fuck with Jacksonville too, by the way. But they took their ass to Jacksonville just so you could get slammed on concrete. bare concrete. Your crazy ass wife texting you, but that's besides the point.
No, I mean, and again, they didn't give Kenny Omega the singles push because Kenny Omega was like, I'm going to take a year off because I don't have to do this New Japan schedule where I have to work myself to death every night to have a 5-star match. It's all the choices they made at the start, they had to because they had to show everyone that it wasn't going to be a vanity project. It was always a vanity project for Cody. What do you do? Every match, he's got a gig. Ugh, ugh, ugh. He's got
to get color or he got to get hit upside the head by fucking Sean Spears.
What's Sean
Dillinger.
What's Sean Spears doing now? Not shit. He's on Dark.
Being trash.
Yeah.
Same. The fuck. He's another one. You went from NXT to the main card, and now you at AEW doing the same thing. You could have been there with your wife, working. Y'all could have been MAGA together. Y'all could have been getting the same WWE bags together. You just went down the street to get probably a pay cut and to do the same thing. Bruh, I just had to remember that Ty Dillinger is on AEW. And that's AEW. I got to remember you there.
Yeah.
I think he went to ROH before he signed to AEW. I'm like, bruh.
He was straight to AEW.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And he went there, and all this motherfucker became, what he said, the cheer?
The chair.
What's his the chairman? Get the fuck out of here, bro. Because you hit this goofy ass motherfucker Cody Rhodes over the head with a chair.
Oh, but a chair shot with no protection, just straight up. Yeah.
Trying to bleed for a company you only got a piece in, Cody Rhodes. Trying to bleed.
And you said it best. I mean, we were going to predict over under how many years, and I think you're right. I think at the end of year 3, I think it's a wrap.
Yeah. Because the thing, man, y'all trying to play checkers against the motherfuckers that plays chess, being Triple H and Vince McMahon, especially. Vince McMahon is what, 3rd generation? 2nd generation superstar? I mean, not superstar, but 2nd generation in the business. Because senior, I thought his pops was doing it. Maybe I'm tripping. But either way.
No, because I'm pretty sure Shane McMahon's 3rd generation.
Yeah, so. You're right. That's what I'm saying. I don't know why I thought Vince's grandfather was in the business. He probably was bootlegging or doing some other shit. Some wild shit I don't want to say. But either way, you trying to go against Vince McMahon, a 74, 75-year-old man now, that 2nd generation in the business, that his pop showed him the ropes. It's the same game. Nothing new was under the sun. I think motherfuckers had this concept that just because we got technology and the new iPhone 12 is coming out and I'm about to be a consumer and get that motherfucking 5G going to probably make my head explode. That's besides the point. That everything is new. There's nothing on this planet that is new. Everything that you see or we're going through is just on your screen.
No, if something like the wrestling industry is so old school and archaic, it's always been that way.
Yeah, it's the entertainment industry.
Well, that's what I mean. Something like that, it's always, and the people change, obviously. New generations come in and they change it in some ways where, like, now the people don't party as much as the people in the 80s and the 90s did. Again, like, everyone's saying, like, Kevin Nash and Goldberg saying, like, these guys and girls are playing video games when they're done at the shows, whereas like we'd go out to the bar or whatever and do that. Like that's what's changed, but pushes and backstabbing and dirty shit happening behind the scenes has always happened, just like how that has always happened in the other industries. But AEW, I mean, it's a thing where you wanted to be one thing and you were pointing and shooting shots, which again, it's fair to do that. It's fair to try to stake out your turf and throw shots. And the shots they're fair shots in terms of like, yeah, they do things over at WWE that are completely different, but then look in the mirror 4 months later and you're doing the same exact thing that you're making fun of and you're not acknowledging it. And you're bragging about being a watered down version of NXT. Like NXT now isn't NXT that was 2 years ago. If they had the NXT 2 years ago, I think it'd be AEW.
ain't no AEW.
Yeah, because I mean, because now Vince McMahon has realized what NXT is for. It's to take the talent and then misuse it. But also just to be, because he doesn't know how to use it, obviously. But yeah, the NXT 2 years ago against this AEW, it wouldn't even be. It'd be a no.
And that's before the goddamn TV deal.
That's what I mean. If this
I
was,
know Triple H and Vince probably like, fuck, if we had that TV deal years ago, oh boy.
if they had
Like
this,
they was doing this off the network, giving us fire.
would have scared away anyone from buying AEW. I think they would have been like, how can we compete if NXT was getting 1 million or close to 1 million on every Wednesday? Why would Turner be like, we can't put this on Wednesdays when they're already getting all the viewers? I mean, are they going to feel confident enough to take all those viewers? They probably wouldn't have. And they were like, we can't put it on Tuesdays or Thursdays because of basketball. Like that's going to be any time. So I mean, they can't, like when they made All In, it was the smartest move to make because no one had like tried to shoot a shot at WWE. I mean, TNA tried, but the first night they did, Vince McMahon already like had the gun pointed right back at him with that show. It's like anything you're gonna do to him, he's already got the best. So again, like look what NXT did. They brought back Great American Bash. They're bringing back Halloween Havoc. They're like sending these shots at Cody Rhodes. He's probably running and crying to his brother's arms. They're like, why are they doing this? Like, leave.
Like all the IPs you wish you had from WCW, you wish you could have. You ain't got the. I don't think you had the facilities for that, big man. You can't get the library.
And see, that's if AEW did have it, well, it would just show that it is a WCW 2.0. It is a TNA 2.0.
Yeah, they just gonna have Chris Jericho against Dean Malenko, and Dean Malenko worked for WWE.
No, Dean Malenko works for AEW.
What the fuck? So they would have the match. Is R. Anderson still there reading off the goddamn Waffle House menu?
But
I actually took that from All Lives Jericho. That shit was actually pretty funny when you said that.
that's funny that you said, yeah, he's the guy who wants walls up, which is funny for a guy whose thing was break the walls down. Jericho wants to put walls up.
Who worked in Mexico? How you mad and you worked in Mexico, bro?
That was your best friend Eddie Guerrero and Chavo Guerrero, and you're like, and yeah, you know.
Yeah, man, he just solidified himself as a goofy, and it's crazy. That's how crazy this year is. I never thought I'd be sitting here in October and saying, damn, Chris Jericho's a goofy. I never thought that should have happened, but welcome to 2020.
Well, I'll say this. At the end of the day, he's still a worker, so can all be a work.
It ain't, how you gonna be at work for
Nope.
all he could cut a promo, bro. That'd be his greatest masterpiece. He was like, man, I was playing, bro.
No, he will. I guarantee. I'm going to say it right here, right now. In like a year and a half, Chris Jericho will say it was all a work. Like he didn't mean any of it. It was all heel.
Yeah, that's gonna be hilarious, but it's gonna be cat. Like, bro, let's say tomorrow if he woke up and started saying Black Lives Matter and all that shit, and say this will work, it's gonna take a lot of convincing though, because you've been goofy all week. You be goofy all week for no reason.
Randy Orton woke up one day and said, like, you know what? These Black lives do matter. And everyone was like, shit, he figured it out. And Chris Jericho's going to be like, you know what? It was just a work. I'm an entertainer. I'm a provocateur. Like, that's what Chris Jericho's going to do.
Nah, but the thing is with Randy Orton, he doesn't apologize for shit. So for him to apologize for that, I mean, it was a shoot.
That is true. He didn't apologize for shit in Tori Wilson's purse or Sable's purse. Yeah, it was Sable's purse.
Yeah, Hey, that's why Brock beat the shit out of him. You know that, right?
Oh, definitely.
He gave him the receipt, but it take years later. Like a lot of those veteran dudes, they wait. Or real ones, anybody in general, outside the wrestling ring, real ones will wait for you to get comfortable, and then I'm gonna pull up on you. It'll be years later. That was for that. There's no way around that because it's like, why would he need to do that? But we know why.
Chris Jericho walks up to Brock Lesnar like, what the hell? What's that for? And Brock Lesnar's like, come on, kiss me. He's like,
yeah, Chris Jericho be trying to be that tough guy trying to fight, man. Just because your dad played hockey don't mean you can fight like a hockey player. Like, you cat, bro. Like, who in their fucking right mind? You know, I can't stand Jim Cornette, but at least he was a real one. He was like, I'm going to tell you how this going to go. Ain't nobody going to fight you because you a big motherfucker. They just going to shoot you. Because Jim Cornette apparently pulled a burner out on Brock Lesnar when he was at OVW. You don't know about that?
No, I don't think so, no.
Yeah, so at OVW.
So that's why. So.
Yeah, but some of the, I listen to some of that shit Jim Cornette said, because, I mean, obviously the motherfucker is a piece of history. He a piece of shit, but he a piece of history as well. He got history behind him, so he got stories, because he was one of the main recruiters at OVW, him and Nasty Man Jim Ross. But, Jim too, man. I mean, they got to keep him. that's the only positive thing of AEW far as somebody working.
No.
Well, besides workers we named, they got to keep that man working. You could tell he's lonely, bro. Like,
that's what I mean. They did a horrible thing. They brought back Jim Ross, who was like, no, WWE let Jim Ross go for a reason because he can't do this anymore. He's out of it's like,
yeah, he be saying some bullshit, but hey, man, listen, I'm not caping for this dude, but please just keep him on there, man. He needs something to do because I'm not joking by all means. This is shoot. I know he lost his wife, but the way he doing it is very problematic by talking about women. Like, bro, that's nasty. You shouldn't have to speak to that level. He been doing this for a year now. I think he lost his wife 2-3 years ago or so. Yeah. So if this is a way to keep the elder out the house from him wilding to a certain extent, cool. Because at first I was like, all right, I hope, even though it's an old white dude, I'm still gonna look at it a certain way.
In the house with the posting the picture.
Yeah, that's not cool, because what if the maid checks her social media and she see that, bro? Like, and then what did he say to the young lady last Christmas or some shit like that? He said, I got a belt around my waist or some shit like that.
So belt buckle or something. It's like,
yeah, I don't think you joking, bro. Like, are they gonna cancel you? If they do, you just gonna have to stay home.
Because everyone's gonna be like what you just said. Unfortunately, his wife tragically passed away, and he's an old man. So just like let it be. At least he's not saying something like N words and shit like that. It's just him.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. But he's just.
Didn't he say some shit about one of the Asian workers in AEW called Oriental, some shit like that?
That's a given, because he was from Oklahoma, so that's what.
He said I can't tell the difference, or some shit like that. Then, man, I don't want to talk about Jerry Lawler, that motherfucker, bro. But he said some shit like that about Asuka and Kyrie Sane or something. But once again, they from the South. God cursed them they think it's a blessing to be from the South, but God put them in the South. That part of the South. I love people from the South, but not that part. Oklahoma, Tennessee, fuck all that shit. But they white dudes in the South, so they think they a blessing to America. It's like, bro, you are a fucking curse to this shithole country.
Well, I didn't have the luxury of growing up in the West Coast like us, which brings us to the show.
All day. I was about to start throwing up gang signs. I had to think about it. I'm like, wait a minute. I don't know who's going to be watching this shit.
All right. So earlier this morning, it was like 8:30 because I went out to get Starbucks. And I saw that Banks liked a tweet that said, I never want to hear California Love another day in my life. And
but my boy that tweeted that, we the same age, so we understand, bro. And the thing is, if you see how my tweets is, don't catch me when I'm up Central Time at like 6, 7 o'clock, because I really get some wild shit off. Not wild, like problematic shit or some nasty shit, but I just be saying wild shit in the morning for some reason. That's how I start my day. That's how I know how the rest of my day is going to be if I start off with the bullshit. That's why you see me in the Discord like up early with the bullshit. If I start my morning off like that, that means it's about to be an interesting day.
But, all right, so is your hate for California Love, which I deem the West Coast anthem, strictly because you've heard it too many times over the last 20-something years? 24
years straight, I've been hearing that fucking song. I remember the video, I know the video like the back of my hand. I remember the motherfucker, this before your time, it was on the box where you order videos. You can call it in and order videos. I hate that fucking song. I'm tired of it. The sample, Zapp and Roger, I believe, I'm tired of that shit. It's just, I've heard it way too many times. I've been at day, please turn this off. I've been at day parties and the shit has been played. I don't want to hear it. I'm done. It's not the California anthem. You tell me what alternative. If this fucking godforsaken song didn't exist, R.I.P. Pac, by the way, if this song didn't exist, what would be, I can tell you what's the California anthems. Or I can tell you the L.A. anthems for the most part.
All right, so let me come at it from my end. So like I said, it's a showdown between us. So you're saying it's not just because it's out of pure like hatred of hearing it on the radio, hearing it blasted at parties, hearing it. So all right. So in my household, my mom, when she would play hip hop or rap, it would mainly be West Coast rap. It'd be Tupac, it'd be Dre, it'd be Snoop Dogg, it'd be NWA. That's the type of rap I grew up listening to growing up. She wouldn't play much other artists like I didn't Biggie or Jay-Z. I didn't hear.
She didn't play Vanilla. She didn't play Vanilla Ice.
No. So when she would play rap, it would be West Coast rap, specifically like that era, like that time era of NWA through Death Row, and that's so.
Because your parents was young, right?
Yeah, they were 19 and 21 when they had me. Yeah, so.
Okay, yeah. So they was playing. Was they saying word for word?
I don't remember. Well, no. But so that's the thing. My mom would play Tupac and loved Tupac, and
You didn't answer that, sir.
what?
Did they say it word for word, the uncensored version?
I said no, they didn't. No.
All right, go ahead.
But,
That was 20-some years ago. I can't do nothing anyway. Call Dr. Umar on my co-host.
so yeah, she would play, Straight Outta Compton, or again, California Love is one I hear all the time. And again, I love California Love. And again, like Tupac shows up on the song, and it's just spraying the automatic. It's just out on bail, fresh out of jail, California Dream.
California screaming. As soon as I hit the scene, I hear the honey screaming, feeding for alcohol and all that bullshit, man. Fuck that song.
Flamethrower just burning everything down. I mean,
It burning everything down.
it's him and Dre again. I mean, him and Dre, I don't think got to team up as much as they probably should have.
No, that was a good thing.
Oh,
If you ever heard the second verse of Toss It Up on the Machiavelli 7 Day Theory, one of the greatest albums of all time?
no, not in a while, no.
Bruh, that shit, shouts out to my dude on Instagram. That was only one of the reasons why I had an Instagram, because this page was fucking hysterical. I'm gonna see if I can find that post. That's my favorite post of the year on Instagram. He said Pac was supposed to be talking about the bitches. He came on, he was talking shit about Dre on the second verse. And the funny thing is, that song is 23 years old. I've been hearing it for 23 years. That's one of my favorite albums ever. I swear to God, I didn't notice that until he posted that on Instagram. Then every single time, from now on, every single time I listen to Toss It Up, bro, I be in tears. Because the second verse, he really just went from the first verse, he was talking about women. Lord have mercy. God said, damn, I forgot the first couple bars. But then he go to the second verse and just say, fuck Dre. Like, fuck Dre. And he said Dre was doing problematic things. I can't say, but
Come on, we all know Dr. Dre's problematic as fuck. I mean, the whole.
okay, yeah. Suge said that.
Oh yeah, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, Suge gave us the tea and said, "You be out here doing, you know what? Well, you know what?" I said, "Bruh." So, but nah, it's just I don't fuck with the song. I can give you anthems I know that still hit in LA to this day. Because for the most part, like at day parties when they play California Love, I'll be like, all right, it's time to go. Or it's time to do something else. It's time to go talk to some females consensually and respectfully. But when certain songs go off, it's like, all right, okay, I can give you the anthems I know go off in LA. Let's play more to California Love. And anthems I think that are California anthems as a whole, even though you got Tell Me Where to Go up north, and you got other songs by E42 Short and Mac Dre. I'm gonna give you my perspective from somebody that's cool with Bay Area people. All right, in LA, we got YG. Damn near any YG song might be a California anthem.
I was gonna say, so I didn't listen to as much new West Coast rap growing up, so I'm like, the only one I really listened to was Vince Staples. That's the only real West Coast rapper that I actually listen to is Vince Staples.
You should, because you know why? He's probably the best West Coast rapper out right now. Or at least lyrical base.
Odd Future, I don't fuck with. Anyone associated with him, I don't fuck with.
Damn, for real? I like Earl and Tyler.
Yeah, YG, I've just never given YG a shot. Anyone, who I'm forgetting. I mean, Tiger, he had singles, but yeah.
Hey, bro. I love, you know what, Rack City might be a California anthem. Shit, bro. Taste, that song, it's just Joe Budden made the shit hilarious, but I still fuck with that song. That's one of my favorite songs ever, that Taste. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do.
The California anthem as much as like it's just an anthem.
Yeah, that song, that shit just is hilarious now because I think about Joe Budden doing the whole rendition of it, but the whole thing is just, I fuck with that song. Nah, I'm gonna tell you the California anthems. Dom Kennedy's Platinum Chanel. If you go on my timeline, I promise you're gonna see one person a day talk about that damn song. Damn near any Dom Kennedy song prior to 2016, but definitely Platinum Chanel. And this is no order. The second one, Nothing But the Cabbie Hits by Mac 10 and the Dog Pound. The Dog Pound, I Stay Gangstered Up. I Love It, probably by the, I'm sorry, not the Dog Pound, but the East Siders. The East Siders, I Love It. Another one, a Snoop song, Gin and Juice, definitely could be a California anthem. That definitely could be a California anthem. Anything for the P-Funk era can be one.
Like G-Funk, or would you?
G-Funk, yeah, G-Funk, my fault. G-Funk era, any song from the G-Funk era could damn near be a California anthem.
Yeah, I would say, so would it have, do you think it either had to be Nothing But a G Thing or the next episode? Because if it's the next episode, then I agree. I think the next episode should be, because I think it's the best song from start to finish with the la da da da, and then it ends with Nate Dogg. So like that's what I mean. It has everything. It's the perfect West Coast anthem with the next episode.
I don't know if we could have that because Jay-Z wrote that whole song.
No, I thought he wrote Still DRE.
Oh yeah, my fault. I thought, who wrote Nothing But a G Thing? I mean, Still.
Yeah, Still DRE is Jay-Z.
Oh no, who wrote
It's probably Eminem and Snoop Dogg, I think.
Let me see.
Next episode must be Eminem and Snoop Dogg.
Let me see. Because, yeah, you're right. Jay-Z wrote Still DRE. Word for word.
No, and that's I can tell that now after hearing more Jay-Z. Where I couldn't tell it when I was like growing up when my mom would play it. I probably had no idea that Jay-Z wrote it. But then when I found out he did, and as I've heard it more and more, and now hearing how Jay-Z sounds, I'm like, oh, it's totally like, if Jay-Z rapped that, yeah. Like it's just,
yeah.
It's him. We're like, and it's Dre trying to do an impression a little bit. And just how like,
we got those. I don't know who the fuck these people are. It's a couple of writers for the next episode. We got that shit. Sugar Free, I'd Rather Give You My Bitch might be a California anthem.
what about so you don't think it's anything with Pac?
Nah, hell no. I can't do that. To Live and Die in LA, shit. Fuck. I Get Around, which is probably my favorite Pac song ever.
No ambition.
Toss It Up.
I mean, so you think it's
Hail Mary. Like, bruh, like, damn near any song Pac made that was, like, happy, so to speak, is a California song. And he's not from California, but we claim him, which is still crazy.
But yeah, no, it's the thing. I mean, the West Coast, I mean, it was dominant for that period of time. Again, would you consider anything by NWA as the California anthem, like Straight Outta Compton, or no, because it's strictly about Compton? Because that's the thing about.
Nah, Fuck the Police is definitely a California anthem because I have yet to meet any police unit in the world, let alone in California, that I fuck with.
Well, Fuck the Police is just a universal anthem now after everything that's occurred.
Shit, Colors might be. Colors came out before Fuck the Police by Ice-T.
Yeah.
Well, that's more so LA because it's about gangbanging, but 6 in the Morning shit might be, it's definitely a California anthem. That's definitely a LA anthem. But it might, I don't know if they had a Battering Rams up north, but they had that shit in LA heavy.
But
where LA, like LAPD take a tank-like thing, if you haven't seen it, and they would run through the door on drug houses. I promise you. Like, you seen Straight Outta Compton, the movie, right?
That first scene, yeah.
Yeah, that's real. that's a real thing. LA was different, man, back in the day. Like, of course, I'm a little on the later side of that era, but still, I remember certain things that happened as a kid.
No, see, that's the California love. It shouts out like all the big cities. It shouts out San Francisco, it shouts out Oakland, it shouts out. That's why I think it's the California anthem because it's like Sacramento, where you at? Inglewood. It's like that's why I think because it's about every. It encapsulates California like as a whole. I know you hate it, but you can't deny that it's the California anthem. Just like how people in NYC probably can't deny that New York State of Mind is a New York anthem. But again, they've heard it so much they probably hate it, just like California Love.
I don't even know if New York, shit, they got a couple of anthems. They come out, the thing is with them, they come out with anthems very so often. It just something bad always happens to the artists that come out with their anthems.
In California or in New York?
No, New York.
Oh, are you talking about like Bobby Shmurda specifically, or?
And Pop Smoke.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like they always, I was thinking about that earlier. I always think about it. Like they always have these great artists that come out, but something bad always happens. Like they'll have an anthem, especially during the summertime, and then it's just like they just stop making music, they disappear, or they die, or go to jail, something like that. Like Fetty Wap, that summer of 2015. Well, that was a classic summer for so many reasons in my life.
Jersey, come on.
That's not, but that's still the East Coast, New York. Basically, it's only like a bridge over dry. But every time that, baby, would you come my way? And that shit used to go up at the day parties. That song was hilarious to me. I like it, but it's still funny as hell to me.
Drake version's better.
Yeah, I actually do like that. I didn't like that bullshit that Drake came out with yesterday. I'm tired that every time Drake come out with a verse, everybody be like, oh, the new album gonna be fire. Like,
it is gonna be fire. It's gonna
man,
be.
I don't want to hear none of that shit in October or November if I think it's gonna sound the way I think it's gonna sound.
You know, how do you think it's gonna sound? Like how the Laugh Now, Cry Later, and all the.
And I like that song. I love that song. In fact, I don't like it. I love it. But still, I don't want to hear that shit. That's the whole thing. Like when Uzi and Future was talking about putting a project out together, which they probably have made. I'm like, bro, we can't hear that shit in the crib.
Oh, you're saying that you hear it when you're out?
Yeah, where I'm gonna go. I can go somewhere, but I'm not fucking risking my health. Baby, sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry, because you know that, baby.
The new album is gonna be dope. It's gonna be fucking amazing. Yeah, it's
gonna be dope. Did you have this talk with your lady friend about that? Like,
it's the
when this Drake album comes out, you have to come over, and we have to think about, you know, the Timberwolves or the 49ers. I don't know who your basketball team is.
I'm wearing a Warriors sweatshirt, and you're like the Timberwolves.
I'm joking. I don't know. Maybe she a Timberwolves fan. Did you ask her these questions, Davis?
No.
How does it feel to be dating during the pandemic? That's what I want to know.
Well, it's all right. So you want to get into a personal?
Yeah, fuck it. Let's go, bro. We only can talk about other shit for so long.
We didn't address this last week. So I buy condoms because I'm not trying to.
You're a very silly man. But go ahead.
I'm not trying to have kids. All right.
You don't have to.
I can't trust her. I can't trust myself.
Yes, but you could trust $250.
But wives if she says no.
Okay, then there's other ways around that.
Like, whoa. What kind of perfect murder shit are you talking about?
Listen, I've seen a lot of documentaries, and sometimes the guys, they reminisce of skin color, and they do certain things you shouldn't do.
You've been watching
and sometimes they don't have gloves. Then when the police come to their door, they be like, I don't know. I haven't seen her. I don't know where she is.
My God, you trying to have me like Scott Peterson out here fucking.
Hey, I was going to say his name. Hey, nah, you might edit that. I was like, that's that name, boy, right there. That name. I remember that story. I was going to say his name.
I remember like it was happening as I was like in elementary school. And I just remember it was like he killed his wife. And was she pregnant, right?
Yeah, Lacey.
But
that man went down by the lake and did the work. He thought he was Freddy Krueger or Jason.
And then Gone Girl is essentially that. It's that, you know, a version of that kind of.
I've never seen Gone Girl.
What? Oh my God. You got it.
I gotta watch more movies, but guess what's about to happen? I'm like, oh, the Dodgers about to play? All right, bet.
The Dodgers. Oh my. Let's not even. Oh, don't even get me on that. Anyway, let's stick with the.
No, hey. I told me and my boy said it. That's from LA. Listen, if the Dodgers win the World Series And the Lakers just won. The Mexicans about to go crazy in LA, bro. They about to wow the fuck out.
So glad I'm not in California if that happens.
Lakers fool, Dodgers fool, we win.
You know what? Let's pause on the personal stuff for a minute. Fuck the Lakers. Fuck the Laker fans for all that bullshit of sending death threats to Danny Green and his wife. Just for them to win the title and stuff. See, that's why I've always hated the Lakers. I've always hated the Laker fans. It's just, yeah, you want to cry and whine about, having shitty years after you had how many years of titles with Magic?
That's what I'm saying. They ain't won shit in 20-some years. I'm like, bro, it's literally been 10 years. Literally
10 years since they last won. And like, oh, it was so difficult. That's the Minnesota Timberwolves franchise as a whole. That's the Sacramento Kings as a whole. Talk about the Houston Rockets. They haven't won since they won back-to-back titles, and the last one was the year I was born.
Right.
See, and you want to talk about privilege. Being Lakers fans, they're either again bandwagon or privileged. It's that's what it is. And the one year the Clippers actually try to have a shot to win it, they get so mad, oh, look at the Clippers trying to show up and show us that who runs LA? We still run LA. The Clippers will never run LA. Of course not. But I mean, they tried.
Yo, WWE, I'm hearing what you're saying, my fault. WWE shoppers. This motherfucker good with his advertising. Vince is very good. Because I was like, you know what? I think I'm about to get that Roman Reigns shirt and that Oscar shirt. And then the fucking ads are just everywhere.
Our guy coach tweet this morning that he hasn't gotten his Roman Reigns shirt yet.
He don't deserve it.
That's why. Because of certain things that never mind.
We can say eventually I'll start snitching. We say it on the Undisputed Hater. Shouts out to Doug and Coach, but it's ridiculous, bro. It's always I told you this, man. I told y'all in the past week, and then he started showing it. This man is the devil. Y'all don't believe me, and he showed up in the Discord with the problematic. Showed up.
Nope. I'm just talking over you so you don't reveal anything. What happens in our Discord stays.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He's just a problematic man. That's all I can say. I ain't snitching. I don't play that snitching game, but he know what he be saying.
Even though we're the unofficial podcast of the Discord, we can't just go out and air what is spoken.
Nah, I'll never do that. I go by the no snitching policy. I ain't 69, but still.
Shout out to Eve. I did out Eve with the Caleb Braxton thing. I am sorry about that. But you
snitching more than me. I ain't even say no names.
No, but I said it in the first episode when we talked about Caleb Braxton, remember?
I don't remember you saying that.
Yeah, I did. I said there are two guys, Doug and Eve. And then Eve in the chat was like, yo, he was putting me on blast. And I'm like, I'm sorry. It's just the game.
And you doing it again.
No,
That's what I said. I ain't saying no names.
I'm apologizing to Eve for that, even though, yeah. Because he's our guy. So, again, we got to have him on to talk about the best of TNA at some point.
I'm ready for that episode. I was going to watch TNA tonight.
An amazing episode. But
if I'm gonna wait after the baseball games go off, I was gonna watch that.
Yeah, all right, yeah. Back to personal stuff, real quick.
Let's talk about it.
I buy condoms because I'm not trying to have no kids at 25. My dad had a 3 and a 1-year-old at 25. I ain't trying to be. Wait,
I'll be right back.
A 4 and a 2-year-old at 25. That ain't trying to be me. And yeah, I know there are extra measures you can take. I'm not against those, but if the woman isn't up for it, then I'm not going to force her to do something like that. And it's her choice as well. But I am not against the $250 part of it, as you're saying.
You don't believe in Plan B?
I've used it probably, once I think, yeah. But I just like to play it safe. And I'm not trying to have any.
Can't feel nothing with condoms, bro.
You really want to?
Ain't nothing like raw sex, bro. That shit is the greatest thing ever.
I'm not saying I've never had it. I have.
But I have it all the time.
But I can't fully enjoy it because at the end of the day, I'm getting I get so paranoid in my head where I'm like, this is I can't enjoy it because I'm like, what if this is gonna happen? Like, Like I ain't trying to
You
raise.
don't want to have kids?
Not really. Not within not in the next 10 years.
I'm with you. I'm trying to wait till I'm 40.
I'm gonna wait till I'm 35 at least. At 35, I can be like, all right, if I'm with someone, which I don't know. I mean, that's just all right. So you're asking me what's like dating during the pandemic? Well, this is the second time this girl and I gone out. Last week we were just at my place. Last night again we just went out to the movies, and then I'd say it's hard really because then I never really ask girls out like in public. I'm mainly on like Bumble or Tinder, so I think it's maybe worse because there's not much to go out and do, even though it's about to be like cuffing season and all that, and then like Christmas and how many girls want something for Christmas and like
You better give it's $20 bags on Amazon. Get that, wrap that motherfucker up. Be like, this a Birkin bag.
do you think I should like try to fabricate a Birkin bag? Like,
Man, grab her something that's $20 or less.
I'll just write Birkin on it in Sharpie. Be like, yeah, it's a Birkin.
Be like, oh, you don't like that? That's the thought that count. I thought that's what it was about, baby.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So dating, I always don't have the best luck in dating anyway. So yeah,
It is wild how you I'm kind of washed up, so I don't try to date. But you know what I mean, during the all I told was this young lady recently, I said, listen, I ain't trying to get sick, so either you can come through or I can come through. We ain't gonna do no wild shit because I don't want no allegations against me, but I'm not risking my health. So either we gonna do this shit or I see your ass in 2022 when things are probably better. But by then I'll be in fucking London or Tokyo.
probably. And you'll be in Toronto. You'll be in
Or London. I'm trying to see which one.
You'll be in London next to Aaliyah James, and I'll be here freezing my ass off.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. It's a cup, man. Listen, London got all of them. They really got the Olympic team out there. You can pick a U.S. men's basketball Olympic team. They got I don't know if they got the Dream Team or what. They just got them all.
16, 17 Warriors.
Yeah, no, they definitely got, the 2017 Golden State Warriors, because I'm like, bro,
They got
start lineup.
They got.
I seen start lineups. I'm like, bro, we can't defend. We can't outscore them. That's it. But no, when you my age and you date, you just like, either it's going to happen or it's not. But for the most part, I get straight to the point. Like, what you trying to do? Kick it? Cool. I either order some takeout or you can cook. I know how to cook, but I don't think I need to do that. I can't be just the best of hostess. If we just about to go over here and burn my electricity bill, I got to pay for it.
See, that's why I have a place that I don't have to pay electricity on. So.
Oh, look at you, blessed.
Yeah. That's why you have to live in places like this. Sure, you get winter 8 months out of the year, but you get my building with no electricity and water bill. So.
Yeah, that's because it's always cold out there. So.
Yeah, like I said, it snowed yesterday. It was snowing yesterday for a bit. I'm wearing a tank top and shorts like you right now. Just gotta be like, got my fucking hoodie. I had to wear my shearling jacket last night. Getting that cold.
And look, I can't do the cold, so I'll be pissed off.
But yeah, no dating. Yeah, it's just not really my forte. Is I'll say that.
You just got to keep going.
Yeah, I just got to keep.
That's all it is.
Dots up and yeah.
It's a competition, and more times than not between you and some other dudes. It's you and a female because she competing with herself about this whole dating thing.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So you just got to keep going. Like they be off and on. Yeah, I don't understand how these hoes be saying. I don't mean all of y'all hoes, just some of y'all. I don't understand how they be saying I'm busy. How the fuck you busy during the pandemic? You supposed to stay in the goddamn crib. See, that's why you motherfuckers hard-headed. Y'all supposed to stay in the crib. You busy. You ain't doing shit but watching Girlfriends. Or whatever show females be watching. I gotta clear that up because I don't want if one of them here, what she probably won't. She gonna think I'm talking to her directly. All y'all listen to girlfriends. I don't know all y'all.
I was watching it the other day, so.
Oh no, man! Listen, all four of them. Never mind. Let me not be a nasty dude.
What, were you gonna say something about Jill Marie Jones or?
All of them. All four of them. Four of them things.
Yeah.
Four of them things.
Well, no, yeah, I watched. I think I'm towards the end of the second season, and Lynn was like in the Halloween episode. She was dressed like, what's her name from the Addams Family, and I was like, God damn! I was like, okay, like, that's like, yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to be. You know what I mean?
Let's get to the G1 real quick. I'd say, like, out of all the wrestling news this week, it was kind of a quiet week. The draft wrapped up on Monday. It was very subpar, as we kind of touched with last Saturday when we talked about the Friday version of it. NXT, okay. I mean, they're just treading water because Finn Balor's injured, and yeah.
It's the end of the year. That's all it really is.
Yeah, and they're not
football season. This is how they do, and then football be on Tuesdays now because people get sick. So
yeah, and I didn't watch SmackDown last night because I saw Tenet, like I said. So I mean, I just saw the clip of the Jey Uso Roman Reigns feud. Looks like it's still doing well. Like it's still
turn that up.
But
Tribal Chief coming through.
I guess if you want to talk about Goldberg versus Roman Reigns, because I was the one getting hit on.
Beat the fuck out of Bill Goldberg, that bald-headed bastard, like Scott Steiner say. Goldberg, you bald-headed bastard. Beat the hell out of him. Just like you did with Braun, and that wasn't enough cheer shots with Braun. He shouldn't have hit him with 20 more. Take that goddamn cheer. Beat the shit out of Goldberg. I want you to give him 5 spears and then hit him with the cheer. Fuck that old bastard.
Without Goldberg, there's no Roman Reigns. So Roman Reigns has to pay.
Out of here.
Has to pay.
The Tribal Chief didn't need nobody, bro. He got away from the shield and still catching bodies.
He has to pay homage to the greatness of Goldberg.
No, that spear ain't did shit.
But no, I mean, the Tribal Chief, this Roman Reigns, as I like to call him, is fucking phenomenal. I mean, and if I don't know who's going to beat him. Like, that's, I mean, not even Brock Lesnar, I don't think.
Nobody. He's going to retire and go to Hollywood. That's what they needed.
It's going to be like the first champ just to, like, take the belt with him. It's like, I mean, sure, CM Punk did it, but yeah, so did Roman Reigns. He's going to take the belt with him.
Keep that title on him. Let him keep the title. Fuck all that. Nobody going to beat him. Let him body his cousin.
Unless the GOAT comes back and beats him.
Unless who?
The GOAT. John Cena, unless the GOAT comes back.
Nah, he gonna beat the hell. They leading all this up to somehow Vince, because he get this shit done. He gonna be like, hey, John, just come back for one more, bro. I know you married. Congratulations to you. I know you doing the movies. Nah, bro, come through just one time, get beat up. Yeah, see, Roman Reigns beat the shit out of Cena. I'm like, oh yeah, we here.
Yeah, see, John Cena got married, and his views on it were kind of like my views on it. Like, I didn't want to get married. I don't want to have kids, really. I'm not making a girl sign no contract, though. I'm not that outraged. So, like, you got to sign this, and this, and that to, like, live with me. That's
for somebody that said that, I don't know. She must have put that fire on him. He was like, no, I got to marry this one.
No, she probably was just with it, whereas Nikki Bella was probably, like, again, too much wanting the spotlight to go through with it.
And now she with a loser.
Exactly.
You could have stayed with the GOAT. You could play your role, baby. Everybody can't. Once again, Golden State Warriors. Everybody can't beat Clay. Just beat Draymond.
Your man was on Dancing with the Stars. Your old man, is in Fast.
He's a worldwide phenom.
Fast 9. So who's missing out?
Worldwide phenom. Everybody know John Cena.
Platinum selling rap artist.
Everybody knows. 16-time champion. I'm sorry, 15-time champion.
No, he's 16.
No, 16. Yeah, 16-time champion. With Ric Flair.
Fucking greatness right there. But
you want to go with this dude that's dancing looking like Zorro. Get the fuck out of here.
But yeah, there wasn't much news in wrestling, but the G1 is ending. The finals are set. It's Kota Ibushi versus Sonata. I was kind of shocked. I haven't watched any of it. You have.
Bro, it's hard.
No,
like I said, it's 3 hours a day. I'm like, bro.
That's really what it is in New Japan. Like I say, I would try to catch one of their big matches every now and then, but the G1, I can't put all that time in. And even before when I'd skip matches of certain guys. Like I'm not gonna watch a Toru Yano match. I'm not gonna watch a Tai Chi match. I'm not gonna watch a Yoshihashi match or a Yujiro Takahashi match. There are like certain guys who you can just skip all together because what they're there to do. They're there to take pinfalls. But I was shocked that this is Kota Ibushi's third finals in a row, and so they put Sonata in. So it seems like they want to give Sonata the push like they did Evil a couple months ago. So is Sonata going to be like the face of LIJ, you think?
The thing is with them, I noticed it's no per se face of the company. It's kind of like everybody's just here. They'll have Naito or they have somebody like as a champion, and I guess
Tanahashi, Okada, and Naito. It's like the three of them share it.
Yeah, it's not like, this go-to person like WWE, of course, right now is Roman Reigns. It's never that one particular person. And maybe it's just a cultural thing with Japan wrestling. It's like, hey, man, we just here to work. And that's what I noticed about New Japan. And it's the reason why a lot of the older guys are still there. Like my man, I forgot his name. I know it too. That be having the crazy-ass shoes on Instagram. He be having the Ron Isley shoes on Instagram. He has like the little cuts in his head and his haircut with the lanes. That be getting, as soon as he start the match, he throwing 1,000 forearms back and forth.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's 52 years old. Like literally 52 years old. And a lot of those workers, like Okada is 38, if I'm not mistaken, 36 years old.
Like 33, 34.
Yeah, and his body, he's starting to show. There's a reason why Shinsuke was like, hey, bro, I got to go get this money overseas.
Well,
because
we had our draft last week. Like I said, if this was 2017, I would have taken Okada in the first two picks probably. But like this Okada it's like he's run down. Like I'm trying to think of like a sports comp. Maybe it's probably like Peyton Manning after like Denver Broncos Peyton Manning. Like he can turn it on sometimes, but like at the end of the day, like the body's done.
Yeah, I mean, that shit, they work stiff as fuck, man. And then they work a lot. Like, you working every day, except for, like, you'll have 1 day off or 2 days off. Like, the G1, people think, like, I'm like, bro, that's in real time. That's live. They working every damn day. That's a lot, bro. And then they doing 20, 30 minutes. Hey, man, I keep trying to tell motherfuckers, if y'all think that mat is somehow safe, like it's made of tissue, go in that motherfucker and take a bump. You will know when that motherfucking air hits you and knock the wind out you. That is plywood under that. So him doing that, that's a lot. But a lot of them, they stay. Like a lot of people, like, I wish some of these Japanese workers would go to NXT. It's not like, no, why? You're going to get the same amount of money as you probably would get where you at in your own country. You basically are looked at as a king.
Mm-hmm.
You get, if I'm not mistaken, they still get their merchandise sales as well. It's like, bro, it wouldn't make no sense. Like, unless you want to go overseas. But for the most part, you don't. Especially nowadays, like, it's the reason why Kairi Sane left. Like,
yeah.
And shouts out to WWE for actually giving her some type of job still. So she's employed by WWE. She was just able to go home. And a small part of me is saying that eventually Asuka is going to do the same thing.
Maybe. I'd say not within the next 2 years, though. I think
but she pushing it too she can keep going, but she's 39 years old.
I think she knows that, like, right now she's red hot, and she's going to ride that out until the body really starts to hurt, and then she can coast, like Shinsuke Nakamura has been the whole time. Like, I think Asuka knows right now is the perfect moment for her, and WWE realizes it too. But no, and yeah, in Japan, and that's the thing. Like anyone who said it about the G1, AJ Styles said it. It's the toughest thing to compete in, and Kenny Omega said it. John Moxley, I think, said it last year after he did it. It was like, yeah, it was a grind, and it was something he wanted to do. And granted, someone like him who is a different type of worker, whereas a guy like Omega and Styles try to go out and have the best match literally every night, where it's hard for them to do that, 20-something nights in a row. But yeah, Minoru Suzuki, you couldn't pay me. You'd have to give me $10,000 to take slaps from Minoru Suzuki. I mean,
hey, real quick though, I'm gonna go. Let me say this about Dean Ambrose. I've been on record with my boy. I wish I could find those text messages, but he probably would tell you personally. I said a year ago, I like Dean Ambrose in New Japan. I think his style actually works perfect in New Japan.
Earlier when you were bashing him, so Death Rider John Moxley is dope. when he shows up in the trunks and the boots, ready to wrestle, but then he still does a little bit of like the hardcore stuff. That works in New Japan. He showed up in AEW thinking it was going to be like that, but it stopped like after a month, and he reverted right back to Dean Ambrose. That's what I was pissed about because I thought he was going to be the guy from New Japan, but he duped us. It's like, nope, it's still the same old Dean Ambrose, just a different show.
And just cursing. You think that shit's cute. No, but in New Japan, he was cold as fuck in New Japan. Because that's how it works in New Japan. Mm-hmm. They not the most technical workers over there, but that's fine. That's why I like
it. But it was like it was like with him, they could do it they could take it easy. They could work a different style. They could work his style. But apparently now, I mean, New Japan seems to have like reverted to like WWE during like the 05, 06 era of a lot of interference and main event matches and stuff like that. But again, so what we were saying is that Sonata, and it's Sonata Ibushi. I don't think Ibushi is going to win. I think Sonata is going to win.
Yeah.
Because Ibushi won last year. He lost the year before. It'd be what, him versus Naito or whoever would be champion in January? No, I don't think that's going to happen. I was shocked Jay White didn't win it, to be honest. I thought it was Jay White's G1 from the start, and it was probably going to be him versus Naito or, for the titles for the Wrestle Kingdom. I was kind of shocked of how things turned out.
That's what I want to see in WWE, actually.
Yeah, that's what we talked about before, is that Jay White, there was the guy who were to leave New Japan to be Jay White, and he'd be a big star, but like there's a lot of similarities with Seth Rollins, so he'd have to be on the other show that Seth Rollins isn't on.
Shit, they probably could tag team. I mean, they look alike, but still, I think you can make it work. That's the person I was thinking about should be in WWE out of everybody else. Everybody else is kind of like, nah, you cool just to stay there, but I think Jay White should have that international look. But, as far as like people knowing who he is, but maybe he cool. Like a lot of those foreign workers, when they go over there, they kind of like, all right, I'm cool being here. Like the Jay Whites and the Will Ospreys and shit like that, they probably like, hey man, I'm getting treated well. I might as well stay here.
I mean, if Jay White went to AEW, I'd be like, holy shit, they got Jay White. I mean, I'd be thinking like, I hope they don't ruin him. But
he's gonna be right on AEW Dark.
That's why I'd be like, hopefully you sign this guy for a reason because he'd be like the star. And that seemed like Kenny Omega left New Japan.
Shit, and went to WWE. They offered that dude.
He was
$3 million, some odd $1 million, and then if you don't like, we talked about it. And if you don't like your contract, you can leave. I want to go over there and get an executive producer title, but I ain't really no executive producer. Y'all got 20 executive producers, bro. Where the bag going? Ain't that much money coming in. Y'all can split the bag.
Yeah. But no, I mean, Jay White got that top foreign star because Kenny Omega and then left. And I think Jay White's probably doing a better job at it. I mean, like in New Japan, maybe I'll check out Wrestle Kingdom when it comes up. That's what I did this year. I didn't do it the year before because I had stopped watching it, but it's always something I'm trying to pay attention to a little bit just to know what's going on at least. Because their year was really weird and again, because, all right, so yeah, I think Evil is probably going to try to usurp Jay White as the Bullet Club leader is kind of what I think is going to happen. Yeah, because they did that thing where like Takahashi was going to try to win the match, even though Jay White expected him to lose. And they said it was like Evil's doing, and you don't put. So that's the thing. I mean, they have Kenta, Jay White, and Evil in the Bullet Club. You can't kind of have like three alphas, or even though Kenta's kind of older, like, but he seems to try to have that role sometimes as well. So I don't know if that means Jay White leaves and forms his own thing or joins another one or joins LIJ. I don't know what it could do, but it's just something I saw and I'm like, oh, it's interesting where if I were to start watching it, I think that'd be an interesting story of what they could do.
Yeah. I like it because they don't really do the whole storyline thing like they do, but you don't see them cut too many promos and it's just pure wrestling. Like I tell people, if you want just pure wrestling, watch that. Watch ROH, where they're going to give you a little bit of the program, but it's not entertainment, which is fine. But, if you just want to watch pure wrestling, I watch ROH. I watch New Japan. I watch Impact when I don't want to watch I don't watch their promos at all. I don't want to see y'all promos. I just want to watch the wrestling. Yeah, if it's alternatives. These motherfuckers that just be talking shit about WWE. I never understood that. It's alternatives, bro. Like MLW still working. NWA is shut off, and there's some workers there that can go to WWE. But it's alternatives for everything, man. We just in a good spot of wrestling. It just like the rest of the world, we don't know what the fuck about to happen. But
Yeah.
shouts out to Japan for being a better fucking country than America, and they handle it very well. Because like I said, before we started recording, I'm like, damn, this shit is weird. Or while we were recording, it's like, damn, they got audiences there.
Yeah.
When I see American shit, I'm like, I don't see no audiences here. It's like two different worlds. Even though it's two different countries, it seems like it's like two different worlds we live in. They got full-ass crowds at New Japan. They all got masks on. And they seem to be like within 6 feet of each other, but it's just how they handled it. Like during the whole quarantine thing, they was like, hey, bruh, nobody go out. If your ass out, you're going to get a ticket.
And they always wear masks kind of before anyway, in terms of like the smog, right? Or whatever.
Yeah, they do that because of the smog and shit. They heavy radiated out there too, but it don't matter. I was thinking about moving out there. That was on my list. That was top 3, Tokyo.
Yeah, no, I mean, the places Toronto, London, and Tokyo are places I'd like to visit as well. I don't know about living out there, but yeah.
No, for me, it's living. I'm getting the fuck up out of here, bro. I'm telling you, nobody believes me until I do it. I'm going to get the fuck up out of here. Mm-hmm. When Trumpito repeat, I'm out this motherfucker for sure.
And then kind of oh, no, wait, what?
I said, y'all can have America. I don't want to be out this motherfucker no more. I'm going to go to London and have 10 kids.
Oh, shit.
Promise to God. Hey, that's not a spoiler. That's not a prediction. That's a spoiler. My fault. I promise you. I'm going to be like the tribal chief. Except he got 5 kids with one great woman who was gorgeous, with all due respect. I'm about to have 10 kids.
I can see why, though. I can't, but I'm just saying.
Exactly. It's too much, bro.
Yeah.
I'm about to be over there talking that language, whatever language they speak.
English.
They ain't no fucking English.
Yeah, with their accent and and their hey governor.
I ain't gonna even hold you. I really don't like the accent. I just gotta get used to it.
Wow. Oh, that's one of the best parts is the accent. Blimey.
Yeah, I don't really like that. It don't matter. I'll just trust
you already like British rap, right?
Oh yeah. Shouts out to Eve too. Me and Eve be talking about British rap.
Like, yeah.
Shouts out to Decibelly the God. Heady One. You gotta tap in. I'll send you some British rap.
Yeah, they were talking about Heady One on Black Announce Table. Shout out to them. They were talking about the song that Future was on, and how Future was just like
trying to catch up to the beat. I was listening to that earlier, bro. I'm like, damn, this beat was beating the fuck out of Future. I got I got I'm like, bro. He probably said, damn, I need to bring the drugs back. He was getting his ass beat. That shit was like Dragon Ball Z.
Speaking of Dragon Ball Z, I wanted to talk about that real quick. For like the last couple months, I've been wanting to watch Dragon Ball Z. I literally haven't watched it in like 15 years. Since I was the last thing I remember was the Majin Buu saga. That's like the only era of Dragon Ball I fully kind of remember. It was like, I'd come home from elementary school and I would try to catch Dragon Ball Z, and then if it was a Monday, then I'm like, oh, then Raw's on after, and I was like, that had me like hyped. I'd be like, yeah, it's like Dragon Ball Z, Yu-Gi-Oh, wrestling. Like that was my interest like around 8, 9, 10 years old. But I started watching just the Great Saiyaman saga. Because I was like reading up on it, and the whole time I'm reading them, I'm like, this shit happens. I'm like, wait, this happens, and I'm like, wow, like I there was some stuff I remembered, but there's some stuff I didn't remember. But the Great Saiyaman saga, I'm like, this is Spider-Man. And I'm like, and I love it. It's just like, because again, I'm a Spider, like how you said you're a Batman fan, I'm a Spider-Man fan. So, why are you shaking your head?
What the fuck going on in this world, man? This man said I ain't watched Dragon Ball Z in 15 years. He done missed out.
because I like. Well, obviously, I mean,
I don't want to hear none of that, Davis. You done missed out on Super.
it's
Super.
it's on Hulu now, so I could probably catch up on that.
I'm
So
gonna watch it on Hulu, man. All right, what else you want to talk about? Let's go. I'm watch it on Hulu.
I think it was a time. It was probably like a
You
time.
know what a weeaboo is?
What?
A weeaboo? Somebody that's like super hardcore anime.
No, no.
That's me 10%. The other 9% is I'm just joking and I kind of don't give a fuck and I got an outside life, so I don't watch too much things. But
See,
still, when
I,
it comes to certain anime, it's like, all right, bro. Like me and shouts out to Mills at the A show. Like me and him be talking about that and the Lookout. I was saying like, bro, you up here watching dub anime?
me?
You too, huh? No,
Yeah,
you too. You watch dub.
yeah. What? I gotta read too.
That's what's wrong today. The women they don't know how to cook. We losing recipes.
All right. See, and I think that's the reason I started following Meals. I think about a month or so ago. And he was posting a lot of Dragon Ball Z stuff, and I'm like, you know
Yeah,
what?
the Lookout podcast.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know what? I get like, it's one thing I'm always like, one day I'm gonna like watch all of Dragon Ball Z. And I only started on the Sandman saga just because I'm like, it's a small saga, and I had read up on that. Originally, Akira Toriyama wanted Gohan to take over the series,
Yeah.
and I'm like, wow, I never like that's interesting, and like, and it would, and I'm starting on that point, like, I could see why he thought that because like. All right, yeah, Goku's dead, and I think I'm like, how many times does like Goku die or show up?
Because he's a fucked up father. That's why. Lord, let
Well,
me
yeah,
get to the
that's the thing in hindsight now is like and over years of I've been following people who had always been like, man, Goku's like shout out to Cam Seahawk. He was like, yeah, he's I think one of the main stand like flag bearers for Goku's a horrible father. Of like this.
this motherfucker. That's why your son had to become the great Sandman. You know
That's,
what I mean?
that's
Because
why
you keep on wanting to die. You ain't teach him to move. So the only time he can really get busy and fight people is these human beings who ain't got but low power levels. He's just knocking them up with little fingers and shit. He got to become a superhero because your ass won't just let him study. He told you when he was 5, 7 years old, Daddy, I don't want to fight. Bro, you got me out here with this dude with a turban on. I don't want to fight. This motherfucker got me at the top of a mountain, sleeping. I'm hungry. I got to get apples to eat. And then when I turn to 8 and go crazy, this motherfucker trying to figure out why. Yeah, because I'm a Saiyan, motherfucker. And only pure blood Saiyans are supposed to have a tail, which I still don't understand. Like, but that's Dragon Ball Z. It's a lot of Dark Knight Rises where it's like, okay, that didn't make sense, but I guess.
the other day I watched like a 30-minute video which like kind of like summed up everything from like the series, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like the whole time I was like, yeah, they do turn into giant apes, don't they? I'm like, what the where does that come from? Like, how are you supposed to be like this higher race of being that you can turn in when it's a full moon? You turn into a giant.
That's why Frieza was a damn racist. He's a MAGA. Fucking call them giant monkeys.
I guess.
That's all, hello, monkeys. That's all this motherfucker said.
I think that's what Mills kept tweeting that. It's like, man, this shit's racist. And that every time Vegeta says Kakarot, I'm like, is that like that almost sounds like slang. Like, hey, you my Kakarot. Like you
No,
just
that's the actual name.
I know that's his actual name, but it always sounds like, hey, my Kakarot. It's just like the way he says it. It's like he says it with such like
that means that's his king. What else he supposed to call him, Davis? My Kakarot, my king. You see a K? You don't see an N there. You see a K. First letter.
Even though like Vegeta is supposed to be like king, right? Like, and that's like
I am Prince Vegeta. Yeah. He Prince Vegeta and his motherfucker, he get knocked out. As soon as he started approaching someone talking that shit, he only 5'2". Hey, look, I'm about to go ahead. I'm about to knock this motherfucker out. He gets slapped and he done.
That's
he ain't as bad as Krillin though. Every time Krillin, they put a finger to that motherfucker Nappa did this and Krillin flies his bitch ass. Goku, please help us. Man, get your weight up, bro. You supposed to be trained.
All right, so like the Goku part, like the whole saying, like it's basically Krypton. I'm like, there's a whole lot of Superman, Man of Steel stuff going on with the Saiyans, and then like Great Saiyan Man is Spider-Man. I'm like, Akira Toriyama just probably read a whole bunch of like other comics and like created his own, but was heavily influenced by these. No, and I don't mean the negative. I'm like, that's dope. Like he's like, imagine a whole race of like, yeah, Super Saiyan like people, like these people who can turn blonde hair and power up. Like
But they cheated. They gave one motherfucker all the power. And then his predecessor being his son Gohan, he said, I don't want to run no fades. But you keep dying, bro. So now I gotta go ahead and fight. You forcing me to fight Cell. I don't even want to fight this motherfucker, bro. I can't compete, but you forcing me to fight. Now I gotta figure out how to do the Kamehameha Super.
And that's the thing, I like the storytelling like that, where someone's like forced into like, I don't want like this life. It's like James Vanderbeek in Varsity Blues, like maybe growing up playing football in West Canyon was the highlight of your life, but I don't want your life.
Yeah.
That's Gohan. He's like, I don't want your life, Dad.
Well, apparently not, because the motherfucker, he became Great Sandman. He also became Great Scentman.
Yeah, so I read up after, like, yeah, like he's completely different, like in Super and all that. And it's just like, I'm trying to, I don't know. I mean, I probably.
Oh, no, Super, he a Super Scent. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't even call him a simp. He's just in love. You know what I mean? Yeah, I can't call him a simp because he wasn't out here like wilding. He was just in love. He was awkward around the girl. But she was putting pressure on him. She was putting mad pressure on him, like, bruh, relax. She making me take him out. But if he had a daddy, he'll know how to move around. His daddy bitch ass want to keep dying because he want to be Superman.
That's the thing. So I mean, you kind of got mad at me because they're like, you just picked to start where, and I'm like, I just wanted to watch those episodes just to see what.
Nah, you don't. You cheating the game.
Nah.
Why get in chronological order?
I do that with certain anime. Like with Yu Yu Hakusho, I start where the Dark Tournament saga starts, and I'll watch through that. I don't got time for the Spirit Detective stuff. I want to see him versus people. I love tournaments.
What is going on, man? What we doing? This man is disrespecting all my childhood.
Hey, like Yu-Gi-Oh's on. It was on Netflix, but I think it's on Hulu now. If I was gonna start to rewatch it, I would probably pick where the Battle City tournament starts. I don't want to watch. I didn't like the stuff with Pegasus and all that.
Yugi boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see him versus fucking what's his name, Merrick or whatever, Malik. Yeah.
We used to clown my little cousin for watching that shit. We used to be like, it's time to do. He used to get pissed off.
That's me like spiking my hair when I was in elementary school. Yeah, I was trying to do
Listen
that.
to all the small things to care.
Hey, you better not be making fun of Blink-182, okay?
Say it ain't so. I don't want to go. Here. God damn, why do I know this shit?
That's the greatest band in the world right there. Not Papa Roach like you.
Listen, I grew up not elementary, but in middle school, I was listening to that. I would listen to Ellie and Ant Farm. I would listen to Korn. What else would I listen to? Was I listening to Hoobastank? I feel like I was. Stay. Breaking Benjamin.
You said
I started listening to Breaking Benjamin in high school because they had that Firefly and Diary of Jane. That shit was like on SmackDown versus Raw, I think, on the PlayStation 2. You know Firefly?
Maybe. I'm trying to remember.
Firefly, what you said your life. Hey.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I haven't heard that song in forever.
I think that shit was on SmackDown versus Raw. It was, but I can't remember which one. I'm going to look it up. But they had some fire-ass soundtracks.
I remember the first UFC game had that one Hollywood in Bed song. Lights Out, I think, or something like that. I remember like that was a dope song.
Fight Night had some fire-ass soundtracks too. Fight Night round 2 and 3.
Yeah, I mean, we were gonna have a music conversation a little bit, just because Banks wanted to talk about Ariana Grande, and
we can say that.
Yeah, I can explain why I have the worst music taste in the world. Apparently, as I've been told by multiple women, that my music taste is horrible.
Man, that's because they probably listen to Taylor Swift.
No, I don't know. It's just it's because they listen to different music from me. I think is what it is. But it's like it's either Drake, like Kanye West, Blink-182. Kanye West dropped a new song last night, and that shit, it was horrible.
I fuck with it. I don't fuck with him. He a goofy. I like that song though. I ain't gonna even lie to you.
Next month is the 10th anniversary of My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which is probably the greatest album of his career. I mean, no, don't do that. Don't.
I gotta hit you with the Ray Allen face.
Don't if you say if it's anything from Late Registration or
Late Registration, College Dropout,
see,
808 and Heartbreak, Graduation. This for me. I'm sorry, I'm tripping. My Dark Twisted Fantasy, and then fucking Graduation.
top 3 would be My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. If I can't count Watch the Throne, even though I would like to, I'll go Yeezus, and then I'll do 808 and Heartbreaks. Yeah, I like Yeezus. It's great. It's fucking amazing.
It's one of the worst fucking albums I ever heard in my life. I got a friend. I love that man. I've been a friend with him for 14 years. I be arguing him down about that shit.
It's great.
We used to have watch arguments, and you would know these 2 artists about Young Chris and Neef from the Young Gunners.
Nah.
Yeah, see, that's before your time. We used to have arguments about that, but that's besides the point.
Hurricane Chris, but I don't know Young Chris.
Nah. Hey, bro, listen. 808 and Heartbreak need to be in people's top 10 favorite albums ever. 808 and Heartbreak is a masterpiece.
Well, I get it. It's inspired.
The thing is, for me, like I told you, I listen to emo music even when I'm in a good mood. And for the most part, I'm always in a good mood. Or I'm just in no mood.
You
I
said
should say that.
Yeah, you say you listen to emo music, but then I tell you I listen to Lana Del Rey, and you're like, that shit's too emo for me. That shit's too.
She just fucking depresses me, bro. She just, I don't know what the fuck it is with her, bro. Her shit sound like,
You know
damn,
what?
I'm about to take 10 painkillers and just end it.
It's the perfect tweet I saw is that Lana Del Rey is pissed she never got to fuck JFK. That's why she's so sad all the time. Like that's where it's like, yeah, I get it. Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, if I didn't get a magatone from her, I'd probably say some nasty shit.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, we can.
She gained weight. I'll just say that, man. I ain't saying that that's a bad thing.
We can have a music convo one day and just discuss. Yeah, I mean, because we were I talked about how hey, there's nothing wrong with Nickelback. They have a couple good songs. I said that in the Discord, but
you talking about things in the Discord, David?
No, but that's different because that's something that we were going to talk about was like music that are musical things. That's different. No, stuff like personal stories we can't share in from the Discord.
No, I would never do that shit.
The discussions is something that we can translate. But yeah,
I would never do that. I just said that man's wild, but if you go to his Twitter, he wild.
I said it's.
I'm like, I ain't snitching him. He be on Twitter wilding out more than anywhere.
Call him wild. That's an understatement. It's yeah. That doesn't.
No, that's the funniest motherfucker I know right now. That's the funniest motherfucker I know, hands down. But I'm like, bro, you shouldn't be saying this. Like, I thought I'd be saying some shit. I'm like, no. But it's always on time with that slander of the queen. Oh boy.
Yeesh.
You see with that red on though?
It wasn't last night. I bet. I just saw like I see the GIF of her like walking out, and I'm like,
they're trying to get me up out of here on Twitter because I posted. I'm trying to break down the walls like Jericho. Because he ain't doing it right. Everybody, I said, I was going to say to everybody that Nicki Minaj, did I lie? Did I lie?
You don't know. Maybe he does. You don't know.
Ain't no fucking way. That man ain't strong. Look, boy, look, I was about to start flexing on the damn Zoom call.
Looks could be deceiving. You don't know.
He's not, he ain't African. He ain't qualified.
Oh, so that guy, hey.
Yeah.
So,
listen.
Wow.
Give her this Matumbo. Let's move on.
Well, I think that's time to wrap it up after that.
Before it get real problematic.
Yeah. And we kind of talked about everything as there was. I don't know what we're going to talk about next week. I don't know something big that's coming up, really. I mean,
not a damn thing, but we're going to find something.
Well, I mean, you're watching The Boys, so we can talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I might tap into Lovecraft Country. I should check into that as well. I haven't yet. You not qualified. You can't watch it.
Wow. Okay.
Nah, I honestly don't even know what that show's about. I'm just like, bro, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I never finished the first season of The Mandalorian, so I gotta catch up on
Oh
that
yeah, yeah.
before the second one comes out. So maybe next week we'll
Wait,
do,
don't the second one come out the end of this month?
yeah, end of October 30th with the aforementioned Sasha Banks. So
Mm-hmm. That hoodie she had on was her wig. He ain't buying you them wigs, baby. I'll get you them wigs. I know exactly where to get all the wigs from. On Van Nuys, on Van on Van Ness and Florence in the shopping center where
Lawrence
they
and
used to,
Norman.
yeah, they got the wig. I
only
go to
know
Slots and Swap and get you the wigs
I
too.
only know that from the Black Knight with Martin Lawrence, where he's like, "I'm from Florence and Normandy." Like,
Yeah, hey, I'm very familiar with that area, but I'll leave that alone. I don't know who be listening. I'll leave that alone.
yeah. But thanks. Plug anything you need to plug.
Uh, Shouts out to everybody, man. Shouts out to my brothers in the Africans in the Discord, my semi-African Davis. Shouts out to the Undisputed Hater. Yeah, Undisputed Hater. Eventually we'll come back when Coach not working fucking 12 hours a day. Shouts out to Doug. He's a weirdo, but that's my brother.
It's Doug's fault. I'll just say that. It's Doug's fault y'all not back. It's not Coach, it's Doug.
Doug is a weirdo. I love him, but he's a weirdo. I tell him that all the time.
Doug's too busy sending shots at me to record a podcast. So.
He's crazy. He's crazy as cat shit, as Paul Mooney says. That's all I can say. Shouts out to the Black Announce Table. Shouts out to Random Acts of Podcast, Barbershop Network, Hoops and Brews, the A Show, Black Wrestling Podcast.
Yeah, I got to do the stats tomorrow morning. Public Enemies, guys in the Bay Area, shout out to them. I mean, what about you're not? You said you weren't doing IG anymore. So what? Just
Man,
Twitter?
fuck IG. I don't want to take no pictures. Who the fuck want to look at me all day? I don't do that shit. I'm on Twitter. Find me on Twitter at Banks No Rest 2. They shut down the first one. The feds did a sweep because I said Trump only paid $750 worth of taxes since 2017, and they got me up out of here. Probably with some other shit, but actually, I'm gonna let y'all in on a secret, and this is how we gonna end. When you see fire, or I should say, when you see gasoline somewhere, you should throw fire at certain things, even when it comes at the expense of yourself. I'm gonna be honest. I'm the one that killed Banks No Rest. If anything's gonna kill my creation, it's me, damn it. I killed that motherfucker because I couldn't log into my profile anymore, and they just had my account like on protected or some shit like that. So I said, okay, you know what? Since I can't log in, nobody gets to see anything. So I blew that motherfucker up. I reported to Twitter. I said, this account, I reported my own account and said, this account is saying derogatory things to me that I can't say on here. I got the report right here. I blow the motherfucker up. That's right. That's why I tweeted with that shit and I put Thanos next to it. Job well done.
So you did a Jussie Smollett. You
No, I ain't do that. I ain't do that to hide nothing. I don't hide nothing. I did the Thanos. If I got to kill my own daughter to win, that's what it's gonna be. I killed my daughter. Banks No Rest is no longer. Gamora is done. A small price for salvation. Because I was gonna have to get rid. Listen, I was gonna have to get rid of that Twitter anyway. Because I know in 2009 I said some wild shit.
So you
All
can't.
they can say, look, all they can say now with this current profile, and I gotta relax. I'll just leave it. I'll tell you why I gotta relax now. But all you can see now is me just posting snow emojis to girls.
It's true. That's all you're doing, pretty much.
That's all I'm doing. I ain't saying nothing wild. I ain't saying nothing. And other than that, I just tagged Sasha Banks and I said he ain't putting you in the walls of Jericho like I can. Did I lie? Did I lie?
Success rate with the snowflakes or no?
No, I just did that with Mulatto. With Mulatto, I put like 20 of them motherfuckers. I went OD.
Shit. Yeah, on IG, you can find me at Davis Colton DC, on Twitter at Davis_Colton1. Again, stay tuned to our Twitters for new episodes. This is the second week that we recorded late because of my doing. So I apologize to Banks and all that. Try to get back
I ain't doing shit. I'm watching the game as I'm talking to you.
back on schedule. Even though we don't have a set schedule, it'll try to be a thing. We'll release it around Thursday, Friday, like we were doing before. But thanks. It's always good talking to you, chatting it up about anything and everything, like we just did with fucking Tenet, Batman, and fucking everything else. Yeah.
Everything else, basically.
Yep. This was episode 4. Why episode 4? I mean, I'm like, as soon as we get to 10, I feel like more confident. I feel like as the weeks go on, I'm getting more comfortable, kind of like leading the show and all that. But anyone who's sticking with us, thanks to you for doing that. We're still sticking with YouTube for right now. Maybe once we get some artwork, we'll probably start up a podcast feed and have all the like archived episodes up there. But and that way is like if we watch a trailer or something or share the screen, you'll be able to see that as we're seeing it as well. Because I kind of like the video aspect. Is like kind of what makes us different a little bit.
Right.
But yeah, they called us Madmen. I think we also had some good predictions this episode. I don't think Pattinson's Batman is more than
Spider-Man. Well, that was from last week, but
yeah. No, but I think we had a couple of good ones, and I think we were talking about stuff that we already again AEW. That was stuff that you've been saying for months and months, and like
for months. I'm trying to tell people, man. They call me a madman. I'll be trying to tell people, man. I can see the shit.
AEW won't exist after 2023. We're gonna say that right here and there.
They got 3 years, if that. Shit, if that. We got to see how the world about to be, because shit, there's a lot of companies doing bad now.
Yeah.
If you ain't Amazon, you doing bad. The motherfucking Amazon, man, they offered me a job. Damn, I shouldn't be saying that. Fuck it, I don't give a fuck. They background check with Amazon. God damn, I'm like, am I working for the feds or Amazon? But they the same thing in my eye. Amazon is the world's most popular product. I mean, not product, but world's most popular business right now.
I mean, you can
Jeff Bezos about to be a trillionaire by himself, bro. What the fuck going on?
Literally send anything and everything to you. Like, it's crazy. And I haven't bought something off Amazon in like a year.
Bro, I buy shit damn near every week. I ain't gonna even hold you. I'm like, damn, I do need some more vitamins. I do need some more headphones. And I got something outside right now I need to pick up.
All right.
I am a consumer. We're going to talk about that too, how I'm a consumer. I just got an iPhone, but then I'm like, damn, I could upgrade to the S. I mean, I'm sorry.
What you're saying?
Yeah, I just got an iPhone 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, damn, I can upgrade to the 12? Bet.
Right away?
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah.
Well, if I switch my service over, I got T-Mobile, but I got Xfinity. I got Xfinity for cable, but they throwing me a deal. They like, hey, if you want to go ahead and get this iPhone 12.
Aren't you moving though anyway? So what's that, man? I mean, like, yeah.
Yeah, so I might as well do this shit. I'm like, okay, cool. So I only got to pay $78 and I get an iPhone. Bet.
Yeah, I
had that 5G. That 5G about to have me, boy.
I'm this iPhone. It's paid off at the end of next month or this month, I think. And I'm not sure if I'll get the new one or not.
Okay, let's do it, man. We don't know how the world gonna be. That's how I think. We'll talk about it. That's how I think. I'm like, man, listen, the world might end tomorrow. Why not just spend the money? Fuck it.
That's what I've been feeling like lately. It's like, if I don't spend this money, it's just gonna fucking sit in when I die, what will my money go to if I'm not leaving it towards anyone? Will it just sit there?
Right. And I ain't got enough money to give. Who gonna take my little $500?
You got more than that. Come on.
Shit. After this rent get paid, LA rent get paid on Monday. No. Hey. But I'll be straight. But listen, I ain't gonna put all my business out there, but I'll be good.
If that was basically code for banks saying, don't send him donations. We need it.
Donations.
We need it
Gifts.
Keep the show running.
Hey, I might just post my Cash App and see what somebody gonna do.
Well, this is episode 4, and see you next time.